welcome to Orange County, California. Irvine, that is. Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you here as the Conejo Oaks, they travel to face off against the Orange County Riptide. Spencer Edwards, the pitcher on the mound for the Riptide. Grant Smith at the box as the first pitch is on its way. It misses high and inside. 1-0 the count. Grant Smith, Zach Gregory, Raul Sandoval, Brendan Bobo, the top four in this lineup. TJ Foreman, Daniel Cabral, Austin Carrillo after them as Grant Smith fouls away the 1-0 pitch. Count now 1-1. After Carrillo in the 7 spot, you have Caden Suji in the 8 spot. He's catching today, followed by JT Naviak in the 9 spot. They're set to face off against Spencer Edwards, who's on the mound. The third pitch to Grant Smith misses high, and the count's now 2-1 to Grant Smith. Defensively for the Riptide, you have Krizik, Simmons, and Freeman from left to right in the outfield. Dreiss, Diaz, Hamermovitz, and Owens in the infield from left to right as the 2-1 pitch is called for a strike to Grant Smith, and the count's now even 2-2. Blake Penso is going to be behind the dish for the Riptide. And now a lefty on righty matchup, the 2-2 pitch. Grant Smith grounds it right through the legs of Cody Dreiss, the third baseman, and around to first is Smith, and the leadoff man is aboard for the Oaks.
And that is going to be credited as an error. It was a hard-hit ball. It would have been a difficult play for Dreiss, but one that probably he should have made. It just went right through the wickets, and Grant Smith, he's aboard. The on-base percentage for Smith, it just continues to rise and rise on the season, and now he gets a leadoff man in for this game, which is ever crucial.
So now up to the plate is Zach Gregory, the left fielder, as Grant Smith is on first. Grant Smith yesterday was able to reach first twice, once on a single in the third and once on a walk in the ninth. Here reaches on an error in the first. First pitch to Gregory, he showed bunt, got a little bit too inside, but he fouled it away. It's a scary play, but the count's 0-1. Gregory yesterday, he walked in the first and third inning, hit a double in the fifth, then grounded out to the first baseman in the seventh and struck out looking in the ninth inning to end the game. So, started the game really good for Zach Gregory, but towards the end of the game, just didn't really go his way. Now has an 0-1 count with nobody out and Grant Smith on first base. The pitch, Gregory takes it. It's called for a strike, and now the count is 0-2.
So Zach Gregory is trying to make the pitcher work right here. We do see him with the defensive positioning have an opportunity to ground one between the first baseman and second baseman. There's a large hole as first baseman and Owen is holding on Grant Smith at the bag.
The 0-2 pitch. Gregory hits it high and deep towards right field. Going back now is Freeman at the track, looking up, and it's gone. Zach Gregory, a home run. Grant Smith, who was on first, trailed around, and a home run for the Conejo Oaks as they take a 2-0 lead.
And Zach Gregory killed that ball right off the bat. It looked gone, and in this park, the left-handed hitter, he was able to drive it, pull power, and that is Zach Gregory's third home run of the season. He's trying to chip into that lead that Brendan Bobo has, but more importantly, he's trying to give the Oaks the lead, and he did just that.
So what a start for the Conejo Oaks today. Grant Smith reaches on an error. Gregory hits a home run on an 0-2 count, and 8 pitches in, the Oaks, they have a 2-0 lead. As now Raul Sandoval, the center fielder, steps up to the plate. First pitch to him, he swings and fouls it away. The count now 0-1. Raul Sandoval in the 3 spot today. We've seen him lower in the order, but back up to the 3 spot despite on the year batting 136. The 0-1 pitch to him, he grounds it towards the right side. Coming in is Hamermovitz. Hamermovitz picks it up, flips it to first, and Sandoval's hitting struggles continue as he grounds out to the second baseman.
And right there, it actually seemed like a better executed at bat from Raul Sandoval, despite only being 2 pitches and despite ending in a ground out. But what we've seen from Sandoval this season is that he's been too far out in front. He hasn't been able to cover the outside of the plate. And right there, he put the ball in play on the outside part. He was able to stay down, able to go opposite way. And even though it was a soft grounder, it was a better piece of hitting.
So now Brendan Bobo steps up to the plate to face off against the lefty Spencer Edwards. Second time today, we've seen a lefty-on-lefty matchup as the first pitch to Bobo in there for a strike, called on the outside part of the plate, 0-1 the count. Spencer Edwards, the man on the mound, the pitch to Bobo, swing and a miss, and now the count is 0-2. Edwards this season, he has a 3.48 ERA in 20 and 2/3 innings pitched. He has 21 strikeouts in those 20 and 2/3 as Bobo fouls it away. Count still 0-2, the fourth pitch coming up. The last time that Edwards threw was July 15th against the Barons 6 days ago. Through 6 innings, 4 runs were scored, but none of them were earned, and he had 6 hits and 1 walk. A swing and a miss from Bobo, and now 2 are gone here in the first. Bobo strikes out again this season. First strikeout of the day for Edwards.
And Edwards, he bounces back successfully after the home run. And that's exactly what you want to see. Force soft contact, then come right into the zone. 3 consecutive strikes. All 5 pitches he's thrown since that home run have been strikes. He's not scared of the strike zone. He's not trying to pitch around the Oaks. He's going right back into them, showing good resiliency after giving up a long ball.
So now TJ Foreman at the plate. First pitch to him misses inside and gets past Penso. Nevertheless, the count's 1-0 to Foreman. Foreman this season comes into the game batting .264 in conference play, .266 overall, so not a huge difference overall in conference play. Swings and misses at the second pitch to him, and the count's even 1-1. Has 2 doubles and 2 triples on the year, does Foreman, as well as 10 RBIs. Yesterday against the Foresters, he'd had a hit and 2 runs scored as he fouls off the 1-1 pitch. Count now 1-2. Also had a stolen base in that effort.
We saw Foreman yesterday twice with 2 strikes. Once he battled and was able to have a great at-bat and then end it with a single aboard, and then the last time he struck out on 3 pitches.
Foreman fouls away the 1-2 pitch, and we'll do the 1-2 again. 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Foreman.
So for TJ Foreman, it's about when getting down in 2 strikes and when you're battling. It's having those successful at-bats where you're able to punch one into the outfield rather than going down swinging.
Foreman looks at the 1-2 pitch and misses away, and now the count's even at 2-2. So Foreman, who's batting .266 on the year, facing off against Edwards, who coming into the game with the 3.48 ERA, has already allowed 2 runs on the home run to Gregory. Foreman fouls off another pitch, and we'll do the 2-2 again. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Foreman. Already from the last 2 games, this is the longest at-bat Foreman's had. I mentioned the 6 pitch at-bat that Foreman had. This one's going to be 7 as he's facing off against Edwards. Foreman swings and misses at the 2-2 pitch. The 7th pitch of the at-bat gets him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Edwards after 3 straight outs following the error that Grant Smith reached on and the home run by Zach Gregory that puts the Conejo Oaks up 2-0. You are listening here on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Joe Wiersma, the man on the mound for the Conejo Oaks. He comes in with a little bit of cushion, a 2-0 lead after Zach Gregory's home run. First pitch to Davis Diaz misses away. The count now 1-0. And Wiersma, the last time we saw him, he was really impressive. He threw 3 straight 1-2-3 innings. And he bounced back after that injury he sustained. Second pitch to Diaz, in there for a strike, called. Count now 1-1. Wiersma this season, he has a 7.50 ERA, but we mentioned the last time he pitched, only allowed 1 hit in those 3 innings, and then forced a double play. That was in the first inning. Third pitch, off speed, catches his own. The count now 1-2 to Davis Diaz. Diaz this season, he's batting .293, has 2 doubles along with 14 singles on the year, no triples and no home runs. The 1-2 misses high, so now the count's even at 2-2 to Davis Diaz. Diaz against the Oaks on July 18th, the last time these two teams played. Here, they won 2-5. He went 1 for 2 in that game. Diaz grounds one to the left side. Naviak tries to field it backhanded, cannot, and Diaz reaches.
Yeah, and Davis Diaz against the Oaks, all he's done is just reach base. You mentioned that he was 1 for 2, but he also reached base 2 other times as he got aboard with walks. Now he gets aboard with an error to start off the game, and we saw how crucial the error was in the last inning when Grant Smith got aboard to lead it off. Right now, Joseph Wiersma, his defense didn't pick him up on the first play. He has to rely on them here. Can't try to do it all by himself, especially against someone like Colton Freeman, who has been the most successful Riptide member against Conejo.
So now Diaz on first, Colton Freeman at the plate, Joseph Wiersma on the mound, Caden Suji behind the dish catching. First pitch to Freeman, misses high and away. The count now 1-0. Defensively for the Conejo Oaks, Zach Gregory in left field, Raul Sandoval in center field, and TJ Foreman in right field. Grant Smith, JT Naviak, Daniel Cabral, and Brendan Bobo round out the infield from left to right. And then, like I just said, Caden Suji behind the dish for the Oaks. Wiersma is going to step off the mound, look a little, and now steps back on. (1-0) the count, nobody out, runner on first. The pitch from Wiersma. That one catches the zone. The count now even 1-1. Freeman this season, he's batting .338 with an on-base percentage of .407. So he's been raking all year for the Riptide. Going to be a sophomore next year at Dartmouth College, originally out here in Orange County from Laguna Beach, California. Third pitch to him misses away, and now the count's now 2-1. Freeman, the last 2 games he's played, they've both been against the Oaks, one on July 16th and one on July 18th. In the July 16th game, he went 1 for 4 with a run scored. And then the 18th game, he went 1 for 4. As now a pass ball gets past Bobo as Wiersma tried to throw to first. Diaz advances to second. And now a runner in scoring position for the Riptide.
Yeah, and right there, that's just something we've seen far too often this season where just a routine pickoff attempt gets away from the first baseman and bags were able to be advanced. We saw it yesterday. TJ Foreman, he was able to take bags off of a similar thing. He was able to come all the way around and score on it. So we saw a lot of miscommunication, and we've seen it far too much this season. What should be a routine play ends up resulting in a runner in scoring position.
Second error of the inning for the Conejo Oaks, and the Oaks yesterday, they had 4 errors against the Foresters. Wiersma steps off the mound, and now Suji's going to go and talk things over. Suji just taps him on the side, and now the two are discussing. Diaz at second after reaching on an error by Naviak, and then advancing to second on an error from Wiersma, the pitcher.
And Colton Freeman, you mentioned his last 2 games with the Oaks, but that was not his most successful game against Conejo. The first time these teams played, he ended up with 4 RBIs after 2 hits in 3 at-bats. He was just phenomenal all day long, as well as he walked as well. So reach base 3 out of the 4 times he came to the plate. That's pretty solid.
The 2-1 pitch called for a strike. Now the count's even 2-2. Mentioned Wiersma had an injury. Right before that injury, he threw a game against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Allowed 5 runs on 6 hits in that outing, excuse me. Wasn't his best performance of the season, but now his last performance, he bounced back as Freeman fouls off the 2-2 pitch, and we'll do the 2-2 again. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
And Colton Freeman, he's been effective all season long about not striking out. He has 10 strikeouts on the season and 71 at-bats. That is one of the better strikeout percentages that we see, not only in the Riptide organization, but also in the entire CCL.
The 2-2 pitch. Freeman grounds it right back to Wiersma. Diaz turned back towards second. Wiersma went to first. The play is made, and a ground out to Freeman. Diaz, he went back to second, and he stays there.
Yeah, and that's just poor base running from Davis Diaz at second base. It was a comebacker to Wiersma, and Joseph Wiersma didn't even look the way of Diaz. Diaz got spooked. He heard the leather, and he did not want to get picked off of that second base. He wanted to stay in scoring position. But if he would have watched Wiersma, he would have known that he could have easily taken third base.
Yeah, Davis Diaz, he's going to be a freshman next fall at Vanderbilt, so a very good baseball player, but just a lot of more baseball experience to come for him, and that's one of those plays that it just comes with experience. Terrence Simmons now stepping up to the plate for the Riptide. Stands in with 1 out and a runner in scoring position, and Diaz at second. Wiersma steps off, looks back towards second. Nobody was there to cover. He'll step back on. JT Naviak, the shortstop, he's covering the bag with the left-handed hitter in Simmons.
And Terrence Simmons, he has been absolutely phenomenal after the showcase break, and especially against the Oaks. He had 3 hits in the last performance against the Oaks, the first one after the showcase break.
First pitch to Simmons, misses, so 1-0 the count. And he mentioned he had 3 hits, 3 for 3 in that game, scored 2 runs, as well as having the 3 RBIs, and the home run that he hit, he went back-to-back with Blake Penso, sent one right over the right field wall over the 362 mark. Second pitch to him misses away, and the count's 2-0. Similar area to where Zach Gregory hit his home run today. Nevertheless, 2-0 the count to Simmons. And he mentioned he's been hot ever since the break. He has had 5 hits since then. All of them have come against the Conejo Oaks. Did go 0 for 4 against the Oaks on July 18th, though. Pitch misses high. Counts now 3-0.
Actually,
he did have 2 hits
he had
against the
2
Blues.
hits against the Blues, yes.
Went 0 for 4 against the Oaks. Did strike out twice. Or excuse me, 4 times he struck out. The last time he struck out against the Oaks. So 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts for him. Had 2 strikeouts against the Blues. In that game, he went 2 for 5. Wiersma steps off the mound. 3-0 the count. No danger of striking out here. He has 19 strikeouts on the year, but only 6 walks. Has a chance at number 7. And the pitch called for a strike. The at-bat will continue. 3-1 the count to Terrence Simmons.
And Joseph Wiersma, he's trying to control that walk rate that he's had so far this season. In 12 innings pitched, he has 8 walks. He actually has more walks than he does strikeouts on the year. He's trying to bring that back in and settle it down.
Wiersma turns back towards second. No throw was made. Fans here not liking the amount of times that he's turned back towards second. Well, here we are. Simmons at the plate, 3-1 the count. Runner on second in Diaz. The pitch from Wiersma. Simmons sends it for a ride towards right field. Foreman going back at the track. See you later. That's a home run for Simmons, and just like that, similar to the Oaks, a runner reaches on an error, then a 2-run home run. The second of the season for Simmons, and the Riptide, they tie it. It's 2-2.
And Terrence Simmons continues to be hot against the Oaks, and the Riptide, they continue to love that right field wall against Conejo. We've seen in games against the Riptide where the Oaks have come to town. We've seen 3 home runs now go over that fence for the Riptide, just 1 for the Oaks. And so right now it's about making sure that you bounce back from home runs. We saw a strong bounce back in the last inning from the Riptide. How does Joseph Wiersma do it here?
So Simmons either hot or not against the Oaks. At 3 for 3 with the home run and a triple the first time they played July 16th, as the first pitch called for a strike to Clayton Owen, 0-1 the count. Then the second time these two teams played last weekend, he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, and now here, 1 for 1 with a home run over the wall. Clayton Owen at the plate, 0-1 the count with 1 out, nobody on. The pitch from Wiersma. Owen sends it towards center field. Sandoval coming in, dives last second. It gets past him, coming over his foreman. Heading towards second is Owens. The throw coming in, and Owens is in there safely with a double.
And that was a perplexing play from Raul Sandoval. He just hesitated in the outfield. Looked like he gave it a look. He was going to let it drop, then he started to go back after it, and he changed his mind a few times. And he ended up half-heartedly diving. It got past him, and T.J. Foreman had to go run and try to back him up. And we even saw some hesitation on the base pass. Clay Owen, he did not know if he was going to go all the way around to go two. He took around first and then looked at it, took a few shallow steps like he was going to stop his run, and then ended up deciding that he was going to go to take second base.
So now Blake Penso, the catcher, steps up to the plate with a runner on second. 1 out. The pitch from Wiersma, and Penso grounds it to the left side. Naviak fields it, spins, throws across the diamond. Bobo, a high reach, but he gets Penso on the first pitch to him with a ground out to Naviak.
And right there, that's a great job by JT to bounce back after the error to start off the inning. A play that was more routine, a soft backhander. He ends up not being able to field, but that one, a hard shot up the middle that potentially could have scored Penso from second base. He was able to glove and then make the throw, even though Penso was in his line of sight. So a very strong play from JT Naviak to not only glove it, but make the throw accurately over to Bobo.
So now Austin Krizik, the center fielder, steps up to the plate. 2 outs, runner in scoring position at second. First pitch to him misses high. Count now 1-0. Krizik this season, he's batting .299, has also pitched in one game. Has a 4.50 ERA. Not really a pitcher, but still had 1 strikeout and 3 walks. The 1-0 pitch. Krizik sends it towards left center field. Gregory coming over on the run, makes the catch, and the inning is over, but not before Terrence Simmons ties this game up with a 2-run shot, driving in Davis Diaz, who reached on an air and advanced to second on another one. We head to the second inning, still tied 2-2. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Top of the second inning. Daniel Cabral, Austin Carrillo, and Caden Suji due up for the Oaks. First pitch to Cabral in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Daniel Cabral, a late addition to the Oaks lineup, but still playing here today against the Riptide. Second pitch to him misses away. The count even 1-1. Cabral, he's played in 5 games, has 9 at bats. Overall in the year, .222 batting average as the 1-1 pitch bounces in. Count now 2-1. Did play against the Riptide July 16th. Had one plate appearance. He was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The 2-1 misses high, and now the count's 3-1 to Daniel Cabral.
And for Cabral, it's a very limited sample size for him. He's only seen 11 plate appearances this season. It's about just settling into your at-bats.
Cabral walks, and now the leadoff man's aboard for the Oaks after a 5-pitch walk to Daniel Cabral.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're able to see counts deep. You don't have to swing at too many pitches. You're just watching a pitcher who's had not too much trouble locating the strike zone, but to you wasn't throwing strikes, making sure you're just having well-executed at-bats, because in a small sample size throughout your season, it's important, especially getting into a rhythm with it not playing every day, which Cabral hasn't been, just making the best of your at-bats when you get them.
First pitch to Austin Carrillo in there for a strike, 0 on the count. That was the second walk of the season for Cabral. Does have one stolen base recorded on the season. So Carrillo at the plate after Cabral walks, so a leadoff man at first, nobody out. The lefty-on-lefty matchup as Edwards versus Carrillo. Carrillo shows bunt, pulls back. The pitch was outside, and the count's even 1-1. Carrillo this season, he's batting .260 with an on-base percentage of .397. Finds ways to get aboard in almost every fashion, and every at-bat is a battle with Carrillo. Third baseman Dries comes in. Carrillo shows bunt, tries to bunt up the first base line. It goes foul, and now the count's 1-2 to Carrillo. Probably won't see him bunting here with 2 strikes.
Yeah, and Carrillo's frustrated about that one. It was the pitch that he wanted. It may have been a little bit too far elevated, but it was one that he could have put down, one that he got good wood on. And when you get good wood on a bunt, you want to be able to put that one in play. He barreled it up. He had the right power on his bunt, and he had the right technique, but just missed the angle of his bat a little bit too much and squirted it into the Oaks dugout.
The 1-2 pitch gets past Penso. Heading to second now is Cabral. Takes a turnaround second, but he's going to stay there. Pass ball from Edwards, and now a runner in scoring position with nobody out for the Oaks. So a 2-2 count to Austin Carrillo after the pass ball. Took Penso a while to go and corral it. Nevertheless, he did. Count even still. Carrillo played against the Riptide July 16th. He went 1 for 4 in that game and scored a run, but also did strike out. Watches the 2-2 pitch miss outside, and the count's now full to Austin Carrillo.
And Carrillo's had to have a change of mindset in the at-bat. When he came to the plate, it was about advancing Daniel Cabral with the leadoff runner on, getting them into scoring position. Cabral now got to second base, and simultaneously Carrillo, he got 2 strikes on him, so he couldn't put down the bunt. Now he's watching pitches. He's trying to have a great at-bat for himself.
The payoff pitch, Carrillo looks at it. It misses low, and Carrillo's aboard with a walk. Back-to-back walks allowed by Edwards.
And that is a fantastic at-bat from Austin Carrillo. Going down, trying to bunt, where you go down in the count 1 and 2 to advance the runner, then switching up your mindset. We know Austin Carrillo loves to protect when he has 2 strikes. He loves to battle against a pitcher, and right there, he was forcing Edwards to throw strikes, and Spencer Edwards just could not locate the zone.
11th walk of the season for Austin Carrillo as Caden Suji lays down a bunt down the first base side. Edwards fields it, flips it over to Owens, the first baseman, and Suji does his job at advancing the runners. Cabral to third, Carrillo to second, and 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out for the Oaks.
And that's why it makes Austin Carrillo's walk ever more important. Caden Suji, he does his job advancing the runners, and now it puts 2 into scoring position, where there's a runner on third with just 1 out. A ground ball that Cabral gets a good jump on, he can score, and a fly ball into the outfield, Cabral can score as well. That is what makes Carrillo's at-bat so important, even if he does get stranded in this inning.
JT Naviak up at the plate as the first pitch to him misses inside. Count now 1-0 to Naviak. Naviak this season, he's batting .200, but in his last 2 games he's played, he's had 3 hits and 7 at-bats, as well as a walk and an RBI. That RBI was his 9th RBI of the season. The 1-0, Naviak lines it to left field. Coming in to score now is Cabral, taking a round around third is Carrillo. He's going to stop there. And now runners at the corners as JT Naviak gives the Oaks the lead with an RBI single.
And JT has been hot, hasn't he? He starts off last game. He has 3 consecutive hits. He scores a run. He has an RBI and a stolen base in that game, and he's picking up right where he left off. It hasn't been the greatest of seasons for JT, but he is starting to get in his rhythm. You have to wonder, his dad's been here this week. Has there been a little extra motivation, a little extra confidence for JT with his father in the stands?
That is his 4th hit in his last 8 plate appearances. So a 500 batting average in his last 3 games. First pitch to Grant Smith, called for a strike, 0-1 the count. Grant Smith, his first time up, he hit a ball towards the third baseman, Cody Dreiss. It went right between his legs and headed towards left field where Krizik fielded it. He was later scored after the 2-run shot by Zach Gregory as Smith fouls off the 0-1 pitch. The count now 0-2, and Grant Smith, he's going to have to battle.
The middle infield had double play depth. And while that can be good on a ground ball, if there's a ball up the middle, they're able to turn 2 if you're the Riptide. But we've seen Grant Smith a lot this season be able to drive balls on the ground between third base and shortstop. Right here, if I'm Grant Smith, I'm trying to pull a ground ball right through the hole if I do not get a pitch that I can get under and send to the outfield.
Naviak's going to be picked off. He throws to second. They're going to tag him out there, but coming in to score now is Carrillo. And the Oaks, they extend the lead. It's 4-2, but Naviak's out, and there's 2 away.
And that's a really well-executed play by the Oaks. I'm not sure if it was designed, but the Oaks have done a design play similar to that this season. We've seen with Raul Sandoval when he's gotten to first base multiple times this season with runners on the corners. He's stopped in between the base paths so that the runner from third can score, and right there, a well-executed play.
The 0-2 pitch, Smith looks at it. It bounces in the dirt. The count now 1-2 to Grant Smith. And I agree, that's a great play, despite the thrown out by Naviak, able to score a run, so you sacrifice an out with a run. The Oaks, they're up by 2. Smith lines one towards the third base side. Dreiss makes the play, and the inning is over. But not before the Conejo Oaks can score 2 runs on 1 hit by JT Naviak. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Oaks, they're leading by 2. It's 4-2. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Night Uredsky, Ryan Milano with you. Bottom of the 2nd inning, the Conejo Oaks, they just took a 2-run lead after a 2-run top of the 2nd. Joseph Wiersma back on the mound for the Oaks here in the bottom of the 2nd. First pitch from him misses inside. The count now 1-0 to Cody Dreiss. And Dreiss, he had an error the first time he had a ball hit to him. That was Grant Smith who hit it to him in the first. And has a couple of actions since Grant Smith lined out towards him as he now lines out to JT Naviak, and the first batter aboard is out for the Riptide.
Yeah, in Orange County, they've been targeting JT Naviak. Obviously not intentionally, because the glove of JT Naviak is one of the more sure-handed on the team, despite the error in the first inning. He's gotten a lot of action, and he has showed his glove and flashed the leather.
It's the 3rd time a ball has been hit towards the left side, towards Naviak. Now with 1 out and nobody on, Gavin Hamovitz comes up to the plate. First pitch to him, in there for a strike. Count now 0-1, and today is Gavin Hamovitz's first game with the Riptide, so no statistics for him on the season as today is his first time. Pitch from Wiersma bounces. Hamovitz almost offered. He did not. The count's even 1-1. Going to look up right now, see where Hamovitz is from. Hamovitz goes to Cal State University Bakersfield as he grounds it out to Cabral. The throw over to first, and the play is made. And Hamovitz's first at bat with the Riptide ends in a ground out to Daniel Cabral. And 5 pitches in this inning for Wiersma and 2 outs.
Yeah, and Wiersma's just coming in this inning and mowing down batters. We saw it to end the last inning where he's generated soft contact to the last 2 batters of the inning, and now he started the same thing here, locating pitches well, not getting behind in counts, and he's been able to do a great job of getting these Riptide members out.
So now Tyler Griggs steps up to the plate. Nobody on, 2 outs, and Wiersma on the mound. Righty on lefty matchup against Griggs. First pitch to him, misses away. The count now 1-0 to Tyler Griggs. Griggs this season, he's played in 11 games, has a .333 batting average as he has 12 hits and 36 at-bats. The 1-0 pitch to him, called for a strike. The count even 1-1. Back-to-back batters with 1-1 count. Griggs not a huge power bat, only has 1 extra base hit on the year. That was a double. That double came against the SoCal Shepherds, so a non-CCL team. He now skies one high in the air, shallow left field. Naviak and Gregory in the area. Naviak calls everybody out. He makes the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Joseph Wiersma as we head to the 3rd inning with the Oaks leading by 2. It's 4-2 here in Irvine. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Top of the 3rd inning. The Oaks, they're leading by 2. 4-2 the score as Zach Gregory steps up to the plate. First pitch to him, called for a strike, and Gregory, the last time he was up, he had an 0-2 count. He got behind it and then sent the ball over the right field wall for a 2-run shot to open this game. The Riptide, they later tied it on a 2-run shot by Terrence Simmons. As Gregory looks at the pitch, it's called outside for a ball, and the count's even 1-1. So Gregory, the 3rd home run of the year for him, had a 2-home run game earlier in the season. It's a home run here today against the Riptide as he sends another one towards right field, not going to be deep enough as Freeman comes in, makes the play, and Gregory's retired.
Yeah, and you thought off the bat that Zach Gregory had another one, but that time he just got a little bit too far underneath it. And You know, the problem for Zach Gregory right there, it might be a little bit of trying to drive a ball again, but I don't think that's a problem at all. Because you're playing against a pitcher that you've just already taken deep. He gives you a pitch that you like, trying to drive one hard into the outfield, just barely missing it.
Raul Sandoval swings at a ball that bounced in. The count now 0-1 to Raul Sandoval. And Sandoval, he's batting in the 3 spot today. We mentioned his hitting struggles throughout the season, batting only 100 in conference play, 136 entering this game as the second pitch to him is called for a strike. Count now 0-2 to Raul Sandoval.
And I think that first pitch is a perfect example why. He just hasn't been seeing the ball well. Off the hand you saw of Edwards, it sort of slipped out and bounced in.
The 0-2, Sandoval grounds it to the left side, picked up by Dreiss as he spins and throws to first. The play is made, and Sandoval is retired on a tough ground out.
And that's a little bit different, where he actually hit a ball, and that's probably a hit about 9 times out of 10. Hard hit ball, looks like it's going through the hole. A nice play by Cody Dreiss in the hot corner, able to glove it and throw it over to first. But that's also been a little bit of a theme with Raul Sandoval. When he has been barreling up balls, they just haven't been getting through and getting down. He's hit a few line drives or a few hard-hit grounders for the second half of the season that just haven't been able to drop.
First pitch to Brennan Bobo's fouled away towards the backstop. The count 0-1. So Sandoval 0 for 2 today and 2 groundouts, 1 to the second baseman and 1 to the third baseman. Brendan Bobo up for the second time today, and the first time he came up, he struck out swinging as he swings and misses at a pitch here, and Edwards has made him look silly. That was the 6th pitch that Bobo's seen on the day. All of them have been strikes.
Yeah, and for Brendan Bobo right now, it's just look for a pitch, look for your pitch, but also protect the plate.
The 0-2 pitch misses away. First ball of the day to Bobo, and the count's 1-2.
And Brendan Bobo, he struck out to start this game. He's second on the team in strikeouts, and that has a lot to do with the fact that Brendan Bobo eats on middle-in pitches.
The 1-2 fouled off by Bobo. We'll do the 1-2 again. 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Bobo.
And when he doesn't get a middle-in pitch, or when he gets a breaking ball that looks like it's going to end middle-in, but then breaks away, he has such power in his bat, especially pull side and turning on pitches, that he thinks that he can get to every ball. And that mentality is great and aggressive at the plate, but sometimes just needs to be toned down a little bit.
The 1-2 misses away, and the count's now even at 2-2 to Brendan Bobo.
But I'll take Brendan Bobo's aggressiveness with those home runs that he's had on the season, with that OPS he's had on the season, and give away some of the strikeouts.
Bobo, soft hit ball towards the shortstop. Diaz makes the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Spencer Edwards. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Oaks, they're up by 2, 4-2 the score. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here in Irvine. The Conejo Oaks, they're up by 2, 4-2 the score. The Oaks, they scored 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second, but no runs in the top of the 3rd. 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st for the Riptide as they're up for the 3rd time today. First pitch from Wiersma called for a strike. Davis Diaz at the plate, top of the order, 1, 2, and 3. And Davis Diaz, Colton Freeman, and Terrence Simmons at the plate for the Riptide. They're going to be due up. 0-1 the count to Diaz as he's facing off against Wiersma for the second time today. The pitch called for a strike, and now Davis Diaz is down 0-2.
Yeah, and the last time Wiersma faced against him, he had the similar scenario where he got up in the count, got 2 strikes against Diaz, and then forced soft contact, but Diaz was still able to get aboard with the air.
So to the count, Diaz at the plate. The pitch, off speed that misses away. The count now 1-2, and yeah, you mentioned reach on an air to Naviak. Wouldn't call it soft contact as it was a hard hit ball towards the shortstop. Naviak tried to field it on the backhand, went off of his glove. It was a tough play, could not field it, and it resulted in an error and Diaz reaching at first.
It was routine contact.
The 1-2 misses, and it gets past the catcher, Suji. Picks it up, throws it back towards Wiersma after hitting the backstop, and same count to Diaz, a 2-2 count, 5th pitch waiting him. Diaz today playing shortstop. We've seen him in the second base spot the last couple of times the Oaks have played the Riptide. Pitch from Wiersma, and Diaz fouls it away towards the first base side. We'll do the 2-2 again. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Diaz.
Yeah, that was a really strong bounce-back pitch from Wiersma. He threw a nice pitch on the 0-2 count that just didn't get a swing and a miss. But then he pulled a fastball, and right there, he went right back to the fastball, and this time was able to locate it on that low outside corner, exactly where he wanted it to be.
The 2-2 misses high, and now the count is full at 3-2.
And that time the fastball just ran away from him. Suji was set up on the lower half of the zone on the outer part of the plate, and it ran up.
Diaz on the year, second in the team in batting average in games played, at least 13 games, as pitch misses inside, and a walk for Diaz after he got down 0-2.
And it looked like right there that Wiersma lost confidence on his fastball because he missed the location 2 out of 3 pitches, so he tried to go with the breaking ball, which he has been locating well, and that time he just ended up hanging it over the zone and lets Davis Diaz walk.
17th walk of the season for Davis Diaz, and now the leadoff man's aboard for the Riptide for the second time today. Colton Freeman, the right fielder, he's up at the plate with a runner on first. Nobody out as he grounds one towards the left side. Nabiak fields it, not cleanly, picks it up, throws over to first, and Freeman's in there safely. Second error of the day for JT Naviak.
Yeah, and that's just a routine double play for JT Naviak. It's a little bit difficult right there because you know if you're Naviak, the shortstop, that you can help out your pitcher, help out your defense, and instead of no one on and 2 outs, there's no one out and 2 on.
It's a tough play right there. It looked like Naviak was trying to field it, then flip it towards the second baseman, lost it a little bit in the exchange, tried to go to first, and Freeman, he sprinted down the line, got there safely, and now 2 men are aboard, nobody out, and Terrence Simmons at the plate, who the last time he came up, he sent one over the right field wall, tied it up 2-2, has a chance here if he sends another one over the wall to put the Riptide up. First pitch to him, misses away, 1-0 the count.
You see Wiersma going to the ground, trying to touch the mound, trying to get some grip on the fastball. That's another fastball that he's missed up and away. He's trying to get some grip, trying to get some tact, and trying to be able to locate that pitch.
So Simmons now 4 for 8 on the year, grounds one towards the left side. That's going to get through to the outfield. Coming around to score now is Diaz. Stopping at second is Freeman. And the score is now 4-3 as the Oaks lead shrinks.
And not only does the error by JT Naviak allow for those 2 runners on and no one out in the inning, but it also allows for that giant hole to appear between the shortstop and third base. That is typically right where JT Naviak's going to be. It wasn't a sharply hit ground ball whatsoever. So Naviak typically is going to be able to get to that ball and have a play at first, but because there was a runner at second, he was shaded closer to the bag and he was trying to protect. So when Simmons squirts one the opposite way, Naviak isn't there to field it.
It's now Clayton Owen, the first baseman. He steps up to the plate. First pitch to him, he fouls off. 0-1 now. Owen, the first time he came up, he had a double. Nobody was on as he was left stranded at second after that double. Blake Penso, the man on deck, he grounded out, and Austin Krizik, the man in the hole, he lined out to end the inning after they had a chance with a runner in scoring position to take the lead. Now a chance with Owen here, with 2 runners on and nobody out. 4-3 the score, bottom of the 3rd inning. Pitch from Wiersma, swing and a miss from Owen, and Owen's now behind 0-2.
It's a great bounce back from Wiersma. He's had trouble with location. Now he throws 2 straight pitches to Owen, but he also had 2 strikes early to Davis Diaz and then let him get aboard with 4 out of 5 pitches being balls.
Wiersma steps off, looks towards second, no throw was made. Do it again, 0-2 the count, 2 runners on, nobody out.
And for Wiersma right here, he's had a little bit of trouble with the fastball command in this inning, so I'm looking for a breaking ball down and away.
Gets a grounder towards the right side, Bobo fields it, goes over, taps on first, but it advances the runners as Simmons heads to second and Freeman heads to third, and now the go-ahead run is in scoring position for the Riptide.
And for Wiersma, that soft contact, it just went to the point where Bobo wasn't able to turn to and try to get the runner at second because it was such weak contact. Typically, that is what you live for as a pitcher. But right there, it advances 2 runners into scoring position, and that makes this at-bat against Austin Krizik ever more important.
It's actually Blake Penso.
Excuse me, Blake Penso. My apologies.
So Blake Penso at the plate, and Penso, this is his 3rd game of the season. All 3 games he's played have been against the Conejo Oaks. First pitch to him misses away. The count now 1-0. Penso, the first time he came up, he saw 1 pitch, and he grounded it to Naviak. The throw was made across the diamond. And now here, steps up to the plate again with 2 runners in scoring position. The 1-0 pitch, off speed, catches the zone. The count's now even, 1-1. Penso this season, coming into the game in those 2 games against the Conejo Oaks, he had 3 hits in 8 at-bats, so a .375 batting average. Today he's 0 for 1, so 3 for 9, so a .333 batting average on the year. Did home run in the first time he played against the Oaks. He set one over the left field wall, and then the last game he had a double, and now a chance here with 2 runners on. Swings and misses at a ball in the dirt, and the count's now 1-2 to Penso.
That was a filthy changeup from Joseph Wiersma. It looked like he was going back to the fastball. He was riding the fastball a lot throughout this inning. And then he goes with the off-speed pitch. It dies in the zone. It slows down the speed. And Blake Penso, his hips were way out in front of him. He wasn't able to slow down and drive it. And that was just a nasty pitch that ended up in the dirt and induced a swing and a miss. The best pitch I've seen all day from Joseph Wiersma.
Mentioned the 1 for 4 day the last time he played the Oaks. He had 3 strikeouts in that game. The 1-2 pitch, he swings and misses. A strikeout here today for Penso as he's now 0 for 2. And the first strikeout of the day for Joseph Wiersma, and a big moment for him to have it.
And that was just fantastic pitch sequencing from Joseph Wiersma. He goes right back to the changeup. Penso was sitting fastball, and he was way out in front and had no chance at the outside change. Ended up diving right into the bottom corner of the zone.
So now Austin Krizik steps up to the plate. 2 runners in scoring position. Freeman on third, Simmons on second. And Krizik, the center fielder at the plate, is set to face off against Wiersma. Fouls off the first pitch towards the Oaks dugout. And the count's now 0-1. Krizik, his first time up, he lined out to Zach Gregory, the left fielder. Gregory had to run towards his left, towards the left center field gap. Had to make the play on the run. That was the second pitch that Krizik saw as he was up 1-0. The 0-1, off speed, misses away. Krizik almost offered, he did not. Counts even 1-1.
And that pitch by Wiersma was well executed, but Krizik with great plate discipline, a pitch that looked like it was in the zone but then dove away. Krizik started to go, but then was able to hold back just in time.
The pitch, Krizik sends it towards the right field side. It drifts foul and out of play. Count now 1-2 as Wiersma gets ahead.
So Wiersma, he goes 2 changeups to end the at-bat to Penso. The last pitch to Krizik was a changeup, and then he just busts him right in on the hands, and Krizik can't catch up to it. Good job to even get any wood on it.
1-2 the count, 2 runners in scoring position. The pitch fouled off by Krizik, and we'll do it again. The 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Krizik.
And that was just a great job by Austin Krizik because he was sitting fastball and he was fooled. There was a breaking ball that was diving away, and he was way out in front. He started to go, and he just lagged that bat in the zone for long enough where he was able to just sit the ball right down in foul territory.
So 21 pitches so far in the inning for Wiersma as he's trying to get out of the jam. 4-3 the score. The pitch. And this one sent back up the middle. Coming in to score now is Freeman. Simmons takes a round around third as Sandoval has trouble in center field. Heading to second now is Krizik. And an RBI single plates 2, and the Riptide, they take the lead. It's 5-4.
Yeah, and right there, that was just a fantastic at-bat from Austin Krizik. He was fooled by Wiersma a few times, but even when he was fooled, he was able to stay alive in the count, alive in the at-bat, and then he got a pitch that was left over the heart of the plate and was able to drive it right back up the middle. A great piece of hitting, and that is a big thing that you're going to need if you're the Riptide to get a win in this game is just good hitting against good pitching, and they did it right there where Krizik was able to drive in too.
20th and 21st RBI of the season for Austin Krizik. Now a runner at second with 2 outs and a 5-4 game for the Riptide. First pitch to Cody Dreiss misses away. The count now 1-0. So, Wiersma, he's allowed 5 runs so far in the first 3 innings. His last performance, he had 3 straight 1-2-3 innings against the Ventura County Pirates. Today, he had a 1-2-3 inning in the second, but right now, here in the third, he's been having trouble. This one's hit in the air towards right center field. Coming in is Foreman. He makes the play, and the inning is over. But not before the Riptide can take the lead after scoring 3 runs, including a 2 RBI single with 2 outs by Austin Krizik. We head to the 4th inning. The Riptide up by 1. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano here in the top of the 4th inning. 5-4 the score. Ryan, top of the 4th. You know what that means. It's your turn at play-by-play.
And it's TJ Foreman's turn at the plate. Foreman, he's been to bat once today as he watches the first pitch miss inside. The count is 1-0 to start off the 4th inning. Still on the hill is Spencer Edwards for the Riptide. Foreman, last time up, worked the count but ended up submitting to Edwards. Now fights off the pitch to count 1-1. That was a 7-pitch strikeout swinging to end the 1st inning. It's been a high-scoring affair so far for both teams. In the first 6 total frames, there have been 9 total runs. The 1-1, Foreman skies one high into shallow center field. Taking a few steps in is Simmons. He makes the play, and TJ Foreman is retired for the first out of the fourth.
And you mentioned the 9 total runs, but only 6 total hits in the game. The Oaks, they have 2 hits on the game, and the Riptide, they have 4 hits. The real big thing has been the errors. The Oaks, 4 errors on the day. The Riptide, they have 1, but still, 6 hits, 5 errors.
2 errors from Naviac, 2 errors from Sandoval, as Daniel Cabral cuts through with a big hack on the first pitch, but misses the count 0-1. And so those are where the 4 errors come from for the Oaks. The error for the Riptide, as the first pitch misses just away. The count 1-1 came on Grant Smith's leadoff at bat, where he grounded one in between the wickets of the third baseman as Cabral watches a pitch bounce into the catcher's glove. Cody Drees was the man at third, who ended up watching the ball go through his legs and watching Grant Smith end up at first and ultimately trot home on the Zach Gregory home run. Daniel Cabral now ahead in the count 3-1. He has been 2 consecutive at-bats with very similar results, at least to this point. He had a first pitch strike in his first at-bat and then saw 4 straight balls. Had a first pitch strike here, and now drives one deep into right center field. Going back is Simmons, looking up, trending towards the track, and over his head makes the play. Cabral gave one a ride, but was not able to get it down, and 2 outs here quickly in the inning.
That was probably the hardest hit ball I've seen Daniel Cabral hit all season. That one, Simmons was just drifting back right before the warning track made the catch, but Cabral sent that one for a ride. And, back-to-back outs towards the center fielder for the Oaks as they're just driving it towards that center field. But no wind today, and so the ball's not really carrying.
Austin Carrillo, he's coming to the plate now. He walked his first time up. That was 6 pitches where he went down 1-2 in the count and then saw 3 straight balls. First pitch to him, drives one into right field, and it gets down in front of Freeman. Austin Carrillo is aboard with a 2-out single. It's a nice piece of first pitch hitting for Austin Carrillo. He covers the outside part of the plate, is able to drive one, pull power, and is able to get aboard to try to spark something for the Oaks. The catcher, Caden Suji, he's coming to the plate. His first time up, he advanced Carrillo and Cabral. They were on second and first with no outs. They ended up on second and third with 1 out. They were then driven in. The next batter, as JT Naviac, came through with a 2 RBI single, or really a 1 RBI single. First pitch to Suji, in there for a strike on the inside half of the plate. The count is 0-1. Cabral scored on the Naviac single, and then Austin Carrillo ended up coming around as JT Naviac went in between the bags as Grant Smith was at the plate, and Carrillo was able to dart home. Suji watches a pitch, missed the zone. The count is 1-1. So Caden Suji seeing his first real at-bat here, where the first one, his job was to advance the runners. Now his job is to get aboard with 2 outs here. We've seen 2-out hitting kill the Oaks this season, and we've seen 2-out inning kill the opposing team as Caden Suji swings and misses. The count is 1-2, and Suji is trying to help the Oaks come back in this game. We've seen scoring from the Oaks, but we've also seen a lot of scoring from the Riptide. Both teams have long balls in this one. Austin Carrillo at first. Edwards delivers to Suji. The 1-2 misses low and away. The count is 2-2 to Caden Suji. Suji on the season, he's seen 25 at-bats, and in those at-bats, he's batting .286 with a .400 on-base percentage. So Suji, in his limited time, has been effective at the plate. The 2-2, Suji lifts one the opposite way. It gets down. Carrillo's trying to go first to third, but then holds up at second, a runner in scoring position, and 2 2-out hits for the Oaks. A great piece of hitting as Suji sends one opposite way and is able to get aboard.
And all season, the Conejo Oaks, they've done a really good job with 2 outs. And right now, this is a crucial at-bat for JT Naviac. He's coming into the game really hot, had the RBI single his first time up. And now, with 2 outs, you get back-to-back singles and a runner in scoring position. And your team is down by 1. It's a huge at-bat right now for Naviac.
Naviac is 4 for 5 in his last 5 at-bats. He's trying to come up with a huge hit here to plate Austin Carrillo. He drives one into left center field. Tracking back is Simmons. Looking up, he's underneath it. JT Naviak barrels one up, but Terrence Simmons able to make all 3 outs in the inning to keep the Riptide with a 5-4 lead when we come back in the bottom of the 4th on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Bottom of the 4th inning, Joseph Wiersma still on the hill. 5 runs have come across for the Oaks, but only one of them has been earned for Wiersma, as 4 errors have plated the others. Gavin Hamovitz watches the first pitch bounce in. Excuse me, it's Hamovitz. So Gavin Hamovitz trying to do his work. He's only had 1 at-bat this entire season. That was in the 2nd inning where he grounded out to Daniel Cabral. The 1-0. Wiersma finds his own right down the middle. The count is 1-1.
And Hamovitz is a hard name to say, man.
Hamovitz, say it. Ingrain it in your brain. Get to know the man as the 1-1 pitch to him misses above his head. The count is 2-1. And so the runs that have come across for the Riptide in the 1st inning, 2 runs came across with an error and then a home run, 2-run shot from Terrence Simmons. That home run was the 16th that the Oaks have let up all year, as the 2-1 grounded up the middle. Naviak dives, but it's just outside of his glove. Sandoval fields it in center, and Hamovitz gets his first hit of the season, as he's now 1 for 2 with a leadoff single in the 4th.
And right there, Hamovitz did a great job just grounding it right back up the middle, just out of the reach of the diving Naviak, the shortstop, and he gets a board, and that's exactly what you want from your leadoff man if you're a Riptide fan. Gets a 2-1 counts, battles, and then hits a ball right up the middle to put a man on first.
That brings up Tyler Griggs. He's the designated hitter today. And back to the point on the home runs. 16 for the Oaks on the season. The next closest team in the CCL has 11. Griggs, big swing and a miss, way out in front of a changeup. The count is 0-1. And so the Oaks, when they've given up a lot of runs, it has been on the long ball. We've seen Donovan Waitman have 4 against him. Tobias Plotkin have 4 against him, and a few other Oaks. They have a couple as well. Hamovitz held on at first base by Bobo. Griggs, big swing and a miss. Another off-speed pitch. This one below the zone. The count is 0-2. Tyler Griggs way out in front of that one. And Tyler Griggs on the season has not been a big strikeout threat. He only has 5 strikeouts on the year. It's a limited sample size in his at-bats. But he's been someone who's put in the 9 spot to turn the lineup over. The 0-2. Right down the pipe, he doesn't offer, was froze up by a fastball in 3 straight pitches, 3 straight strikes. The first out of the inning is a backwards K to Tyler Griggs.
And that was the most impressive at-bat of the game for Wiersma right there. He had a 4-pitch strikeout to Penso, but right there got Griggs front-footed on the second pitch to him, and the third pitch to him got him looking. And it's a backwards K. It's an impressive at-bat, and it's a great first out to get right after allowing a single.
Davis Diaz, he led off the last inning with a 7-pitch walk after going down 0-2. Hamovitz stealing. Suji doesn't offer. The pitch was in the dirt. It was tough for him to grab, and now a runner in scoring position. The 2 times up today for Diaz. He's reached both times. Led off the first inning with a ground ball to Naviak that was not able to be fielded. He was able to get a board off the air, and then in the third, he led off with a walk. He scored both times. He now watches a pitch right on the outside part of the plate for a strike. The count is 1-1 to Davis Diaz. And when Wiersma has been on, he has been on, locating his pitches well. And when he has thrown pitches where he's wanted to, they have been absolutely filthy and well executed. And he hasn't missed that much over the plate. He missed over the plate to Terrence Simmons as he throws one over the head of Suji. It gets past the glove, and now a runner 90 feet from home as Hamovitz is able to take third base, and that is a big bag for him to steal because now the runner at the plate can plate him without getting aboard with a hit. A walk would insert a double play threat, but a fly out into the outfield would score Hamovitz, as well as a ground ball that is not able to go right back to the plate. But we see the infield in, everyone on the grass. The 2-1 misses. The count is 3-1 to Davis Diaz. Wiersma in danger of letting the leadoff hitter get on 3 times on the day. Naviak, Smith, Cabral, and Bobo, their feet all on the grass. The 3-1 right down the middle. Count is full as Davis Diaz was trying to get aboard without swinging the bat. He's going to have to see another pitch.
And Diaz has been extending counts all day. Back-to-back full counts for Davis Diaz. The last time it was in the third. He walked on the 7th pitch, and the first time up he had a 5-pitch at bat. Already the 6th pitch coming to him.
The 3-2, swing and a miss, big strikeout for Joseph Wiersma. He sits down as third man of the day and now gets 2 outs in the inning.
And back-to-back strikes outs for Wiersma, one looking and now one swinging to Diaz. And like you said, that was a big out right there, especially after Hamovitz advanced a third. And now the infield is able to extend outward. We can field the ball a little bit better, and with 2 outs, any play to first is available, and it's a big out to get with a runner on third.
Colton Freeman to the plate now. He's one of the better hitters on the team. He watches a breaking ball right in the zone for a strike. It dropped in, and the count is 0-1. Freeman on the season batting .314. He has just 9 RBIs on the year, so he's not near the team lead. Trying to drive in one more. The 0-1 brushes him back. It was close, but does not hit him. So Freeman's going to have to stand in the box yet again. Wiersma trying to bust him inside. And so a 1-run lead for the Riptide with a runner 90 feet away. Joseph Wiersma trying to make sure he's retired. Freeman, he goes, or does he? No. He does not. He checked his swing. He did not break his wrists. He backed out of the box, but did not break the wrists and did not go around, so the count is 2-1.
That was really close right there. I thought he did go.
The 2-1 right in the zone, but it gets away from Suji. The runner goes halfway down the line. A great play by Suji to be able to get to it before it squirts away, and Gavin Hamovitz was about halfway down the line, and Joseph Wiersma was there at the plate. A good flip from Suji to Wiersma would have been able to get him, and a smart play by Hamovitz to go back to the bag and have Colton Freeman live to see another pitch. Now in a hitter's count, it's 3-1. That pitch, if Tsuji probably catches it right on the outside part of the plate, could have been called a strike, but dropping the ball, not good optics to the umpire. The 3-1 lined just into the screen opposite way. So the count is run full, the second consecutive full count. Joseph Wiersma struck out 2 consecutive batters. He'd love for it to be a third. Colton Freeman on the season, he has 5 walks and 9 strikeouts. And a big spot in this game. There's been plenty of them so far early. The 3-2. A ground ball through the hole between short and third, and an RBI single for Colton Freeman makes this a 6-4 game.
That's great hitting right there by Freeman. Battles off a pitch, and he fouls it away. Gets a better one that he likes. Sends it in between the third and shortstop gap. It's another RBI. And the Riptide, they extend their lead. That's exactly what Freeman was set to do with a runner on third and 2 outs.
It's going to bring up Terrence Simmons. Simmons, he's someone who today has been mightily effective. 2 hits, 3 RBI, including a 2-run shot over the right field wall. Wiersma checks the runner at first. Freeman back in safely. So both teams have an equal number of hits and runs. 6 hits and 6 runs for the Riptide, 4 hits on 4 runs for the Oaks. The difference, the errors. First pitch into Simmons, bounces in. Tsuji blocks it, the count 1-0. No action in the Oaks pen yet. Joseph Wiersma has given up a few runs, but not a lot of them being earned. Only 2 of them are on his name. Freeman dancing at first base. The pitch in, swing and a miss, big hack from Simmons, but a located pitch on the lower inside half was not caught up to by Terrence Simmons. Count is 1-1. 5 pitches in the home run, his first time up, just 2 pitches on the single, his last time up. He's come around to score both times. He's had RBIs 3 times. Now watches a pitch, brush him back inside. The count is 2-1. It's getting close to twilight here. The sun is starting to set. Grant Smith at third base. He has a lot of ground to cover as the left-handed hitter has the defense playing pull side. The 2-1 lined in between second and first into right field, and everyone's going to advance a bag. A single for Terrence Simmons makes his day 3 for 3, and he continues to feast against Conejo.
And you mentioned he had a 3 for 3 day the first time these 2 teams played here a couple of weeks ago, and right now here today you mentioned the 3 for 3, 2 singles and a home run, and man, he's just been impressive. And right now it looks like there's going to be a pitching talk happening between Coach Radinsky and Wiersma, and so far in this inning it just hasn't been Wiersma's game. He's thrown 23 pitches in this inning, had 24 pitches the inning prior, 21 pitches in the first. And in between that, he did have an 8-pitch, 1-2-3 inning in the second, but a lot of high-pitched innings and a lot of runs from Wiersma.
A powwow at the mound with pitching coach Scott Radinsky and Caden Tsuji. No action going on in the Oaks pen. This is Joseph Wiersma's inning. He's going to have to get out of it against Clayton Owen. Owen so far today, he's 1 for 2. A double in the first, but was stranded there. And then in the third inning, he grounded out to Brendan Bobo. He's trying to come up with an RBI right here. 2 runners on, one of them at second base in scoring position. JT Naviak holding him on. First pitch to him, big swing and a miss. Wiersma slowed him down, and Clayton Owen couldn't slow his swing. The count 0-1. Wiersma has been relying a lot on the off-speed pitches, especially in this inning. His fastball just hasn't had the location that he's wanted it to. So the count 0-1. Brendan Bobo not holding the runner on at first. The 0-1 pitch misses outside. The count is 1-1. At first base, it's Terrence Simmons. At second, it's Colton Freeman. In the field defensively, it's Grant Smith, JT Naviak, Daniel Cabral, and Brendan Bobo on the infield. Naviak holding the runner on at second. Cabral playing in between first and second base. The 2-1 swung through and missed. The 1-1 makes it 1-2. Owen out in front again on an off-speed pitch. The changeup for Wiersma has been his best pitch so far today. He might go back to it here on a 1-2 count. The pitch. Owen thinks about it but does not go. Wiersma left one in the dirt. So the count is 2-2 with 2 outs, 2 runners on.
In the last couple of pitches, it seems like Freeman at second and Simmons on first have been trying to get Wiersma a little off rhythm. They've been trying to fake like they're going and then stop and really try to mess up Wiersma's stride.
The 2-2, swing and foul tip back into the screen. Clayton Owen able to stay on it. That was a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Owen able to get there, but was not able to put it in play. A 2-run lead for the Orange County Riptide. This is a big game in the standings as the 2-2 grounded softly to second base. Cabral makes the play, throws to first. It's in time, so Wiersma gets out of the inning after only surrendering 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on the base paths. To the top of the 5th inning we go. The Oaks have work to do, down 2 on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Leading off the 5th inning is a leadoff hitter. It's Grant Smith. He's 1 for 2 on the day. The Orange County Riptide, they still hold a 6-4 lead. It's still Spencer Edwards on the mound. He has 65 pitches to this point through 4 innings. First pitch, Grant Smith out in front, the count 0-1. Smith, he swung through a few pitches so far today. We saw him get behind in the count in the first inning. Then he was able to drive a ball through the legs as the 0-1 pitch catches the zone. The count is 0-2. So actually, he is not 1 for 2 on the day. That is my apologies. He is 0 for 2 with an error, but he has reached base once today. Came around to score. That was in the first inning. The 0-2 Smith, swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and a swinging K for Grant Smith as Spencer Edwards sits down his second man of the day.
Yeah, and right there, Smith, he foul-tipped it, but Penso, the catcher, he caught it, and that's just unfortunate. Just missed it a little bit off the bat. It's a foul tipped, but right to the glove of Penso. And it's a 3-pitch at bat, and Smith has just counts have just consistently broken down. Today, a 5-pitch at bat, then a 4-pitch at bat. Now here, a 3-pitch at bat.
Zach Gregory, the 2-hole hitter in this inning as well. He's 1 for 2. He has 2 RBIs with the home run that he hit over the right field fence. First pitch to him in there for a strike. The count 0-1. In the third inning, he flew out to right field. It looked similar off the bat, but just hung up in the air too long. The 0-1 pitch, Gregory watches it drift away from the zone. The count is 1-1. Defensive alignment for the Riptide in the field. It's Owen Hamovitz, Diaz, and Dreiss on the infield as Gregory goes down 1-2 in the count. That is from right to left. Behind the plate, it is Blake Penso, and in the outfield, it's Colton Freeman, Terrence Simmons, and Austin Krizik. That is from right to left as well. 1-2 count to Zach Gregory. The Oaks, they trail 6-4. Gregory watches a pitch just miss outside, stays alive in the count at 2-2.
That one was close. You could hear a little bit of hollering from the Riptide side, and Gregory just looks at it as great plate discipline, and on a pitch like that, he probably thought it was outside, and it was rightfully outside.
The 2-2, Gregory looks at it, almost gives it a chance, doesn't bite, but the umpire does as he sits down on K's, the second consecutive and third of the game for Spencer Edwards.
And Gregory, that was a similar pitch the first time. The first time it was called for a ball. That pitch called for a strike as he got sent down looking to end yesterday's game. So rare strikeouts looking for Zach Gregory in the past 2 games.
Raul Sandoval, the man at the dish, watches the first pitch in there for a strike. Spencer Edwards has been pumping the zone full of strikes so far in this inning. We've seen for him 9 pitches. 7 of them have been strikes. Make that 8 as Raul Sandoval cuts and misses. He goes down in the count 0-2. He's 0 for 2 on the day. 2 groundouts, once to second, once to third. Spencer Edwards looking in. The 0-2 pitch misses high and away. Raul Sandoval lives to see another pitch here. Sandoval, he hasn't been seeing counts very deep today. He's been putting balls in play early. This is the longest at-bat he's had so far today. The 1-2 misses just outside. Blake Penso can't frame. We again hear some chirps from the Orange County section. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs. A 2-run lead for Orange County. The 2-2 pitch. Sandoval swings and misses, and Spencer Edwards strikes out the side. The Oaks, they go down in short order. When we come back, the Oaks trying to protect a 2-run deficit on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher on the hill for the Oaks. It's Aiden Garza. The first man out of the pen for Conejo takes relief for Joseph Wiersma. Wiersma's day ends in 4 innings, 7 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, but 6 runs came across. Only 2 of them earned as 4 errors for the Oaks. Benefited the Riptide mightily. Blake Penso leads off the 5th inning for the Riptide. Garza stares in, shakes a few times. The first pitch of the inning is a ball elevated above the zone, the count 1-0.
And Garza, the last time he pitched against the Riptide was probably his best performance all year. I won't even say probably, was his best performance all year. He pitched 3 2/3, only allowed 2 hits, and had 6 strikeouts.
The 1-0 pitch bounces in, the count 2-0. So while Garza, he had a great performance against Orange County the last time they faced off. He started out with poor location here, missed mightily above the zone, and spiked one. Trying to dial it in, the 2-0. In there for a strike, 3rd time's a charm as the count is 2-1. Aiden Garza, on the season, he has been one of the more effective pitchers for the Oaks. He has a .385 ERA and 14 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, and 7 walks to his name. Caden Suji going out to talk to Aiden Garza. And I'm sure that has something to do with the signs and the pitch mix, as we've seen Garza shake a few times to start off this outing, and it's very early still, especially just after a strike has been thrown. Suji trots back behind the plate. Garza, he is 3-0 on the season. He has wins against 3 non-league opponents. Those came against the Ventura Pirates and Coastal Cubs in his last 2 outings, and then his first outing of the season against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. The 2-1 swing and a miss from Penso. He was out in front. The count is 2-2, and we've seen a lot of these Riptide hitters, when they have swung and missed, it's because they're way too early on pitches. They have not been dialed in to the speed of Garza and the off-speed pitches that the Oaks have been throwing at him. The 2-2 lines sharply down the right field line. It's going to land fair. Penso's digging for 2. Foreman in the corner picks it up, throws it in, and it's a stand-up leadoff double for blank Penso.
And that's a great at-bat for Penso right there. It's a 2-2 count. He battles off, fights, and rips a pitch opposite field right down the right field line, gets into second. And, you know, it's even better when you get your leadoff man aboard at second than first. And right here, Penso does that as he puts himself in scoring position and nobody out.
Austin Krisick, he comes to the plate. He has a 1-for-2 day with 2 RBIs. Has another runner in scoring position here. First pitch bounces in, gets away from Suji, goes to the backstop, Penso to third, and he gives a look at home plate but does not go all the way. So advancing to third on a wild pitch, and now there's a runner 90 feet away with no outs in the inning as Garza spiked it about 2 feet in front of the plate, bounced off of Suji and his padding, and then squirted over to the Oak side. Suji didn't locate it right away, but Penso not able to advance 2 bags, only the 1. Still 90 feet away on the 1-0 pitch. Misses inside. Suji able to keep it from squirting away again, so the count is 2-0. And Garza right now has just had a little bit of problem locating the zone. He came in after he missed badly with 2 straight pitches with 2 straight strikes to Blake Penso. But now to Austin Krisick, he's missed the zone twice pretty badly as well. This time he bounces another pitch in. It's 3-0. And so Garza just has not been locating his pitches to start off this outing.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like he's in his right self right now, like you mentioned, missing a lot of pitches. And when he's missing really, really bad. And, you know, initially he struggled this year, and right now it seems like he's struggling.
The 3-0, a 4-pitch walk to Austin Krisick. He is able to get aboard on 4 straight pitches. So Garza trying to get his outing going now with 2 runners on. You have to reset if you're Aiden Garza here and just focus on the batter at hand, and that is Cody Dreiss. Cody Dreiss on the season, or excuse me, Cody Dreiss so far today, 0-for-2. Go ahead, Knight.
I was just going to say, Garza doesn't walk a lot of batters. That's only his 8th walk of the year, but, you know, right there, he's only allowed more than 1 walk in a game twice all season. So the last time it was against the Riptide, surprisingly, but here a rare walk for him.
First pitch as the runner goes. Suji the throw down. It's not in time. And now 2 runners in scoring position. Penso does not try to go, but Austin Krizik steals his way into scoring position.
I'm a little bit surprised right there that Suji threw to second. It was a close play regardless, but right there with the runner on third and Penso threw down. Seen a lot of teams like the Oaks try to get the runner from third to head home on a play where you have runners at the corners, but he does not, and it's a stolen base and 2 runners in scoring position.
The 1-0 bounces low. The count is 2-0. Garza has gotten behind in every count, and I think the reason that Blake Penso didn't go is because he just isn't a threat on the base paths. This season he hasn't stolen any bags, and he is a catcher for the team, and
it's a small sample size of 3
It
games.
is a small sample size. This one lined over the head of Grant Smith. It gets down in left field, and that's going to plate 2. A 2 RBI hit. He's digging for second base. The throw in, it's in time to get him. So a 2 RBI single, but Cody Drees is thrown out on the base paths. This game is 8-4.
And that one, Grant Smith had jumped for it, and it just going over his head. You could see Grant Smith was a little bit upset right after allowing that. 2 runs come in to score. The lead's now doubled the score of the Oaks as it's 8-4. And Dreiss right there got a little bit greedy, tried to go to second, tried to make a nice move at second and get there safely. Does not. He's out at second, so now nobody on and 1 out.
First pitch fouled into the screen by Gavin Haimovitz. Count is 0-1. And the Oaks, they trail by 4 runs. And this game is mightily important for CCL standings. The top 3 teams in the California Collegiate League South make the playoffs, but Santa Barbara has elected not to attend, so that will make it the top 4 teams, as right now Santa Barbara is firmly inside of that top 4, as Garza delivers, misses the zone, the count 1-1. Santa Barbara firmly inside of that top 3. The Oaks, they are in a 3-way battle for 2 playoff spots. It is the San Luis Obispo Blues who are a half game ahead of the Oaks, and the Oaks a half game ahead of the Riptide as this pitch grounded to Smith. He spins, fires, throws to first, and 2 outs in the inning as Haimovitz is retired.
And right there, that's a nice play by Grant Smith as he fields it, spins, and throws to first. But Garza today just been struggling a lot finding the zone. Had a 1-1 count to Haimovitz, but a lot of balls have been thrown through the first couple of pitches that he's thrown. Looks like he's had about 9 balls thrown through the first 4 batters.
That's going to bring up Tyler Driggs. He's 0 for 2 so far today. And back to what I was talking about the standings. Orange County's just a half game back of the Oaks as Garza bounces another pitch, the count 1-0. And so this game is incredibly important, especially because the Oaks, they've dropped 2 of 3 to the Riptide so far already. These 2 teams are going to face off again tomorrow. So if the Riptide take both of the games against the Oaks, and they're a game and a half up against Conejo, and they have control of the standings as Garza misses the zone again, the count is 2-0. But if the Oaks, they come back to win this game, and then they win tomorrow, then they separate themselves from Orange County. It goes from a half-game lead to a 2.5-game lead. And that is a comfortable lead with just under 2 weeks left in the season as this pitch skied, fouled out of play. It's 2-1. And Knight, talk to me a little bit about the implications of this game with the standings. I mean, I talked about it a little bit, but talk about what you think of the standings race.
Well, I mean, obviously, if the Riptide win today, then the Oaks would be out of the playoffs, and the Riptide would be in the playoffs. And like you said, it's a crucial game. If the Oaks win this game today, then, you know, they're ahead of the Riptide and will control it no matter what the result is tomorrow.
The 2-1 pitch misses high. The count is 3-1.
So if the Oaks win today, then they're ahead of the Riptide by at least 1.5 games. If they lose, then they're down to the Riptide at least half a game. And it's a crucial game, especially today, but even more important tomorrow, especially with the Oaks right now losing by 4. It's a tough scene.
3-1 misses inside it, and Garza continues to struggle with location. And he lets the second batter of the day reach base with a walk, the 4th batter of the inning that has reached base in total.
And right now it looks like there's going to be a talk at the mound, but man, Garza has 2 walks that he's allowed on 1 on 4 pitches and 1 on 5 pitches here, and it's just he keeps on missing the zone. He just hasn't thrown many strikes so far in this inning. Right now he's thrown 20 pitches, and a majority of them have been balls.
That's
11 of his 20 pitches have been balls.
And that's going to bring up the top of the order. It's Davis Diaz, who has reached base twice today. He's already walked. He's been showing a propensity to work counts. He struck out in his last at-bat, but that came on a full count. First pitch to him, in there for a strike. Garza attacks the zone, the count 0-1. Actually, 13 of his pitches have been balls so far today. So he has been struggling to find the zone. 13 of 20 haven't been in there. Make that 14 of 21 as the count is 1-1 as he misses the zone low.
14 of 22. There's a pitch earlier. 1-1 the count.
So the count is 1-1 to Davis Diaz. Runner on first being held on by Brendan Bobo. That's Tyler Griggs. This one grounded right back up the middle. Garza tries to stab it. It gets past his glove and into the outfield. A long round, aggressive one, but the stop sign was put on by the third base coach as Griggs heads back to second, but Diaz advances to first with a 2-out single. And now two 2-out base runners for the Riptide to try to continue an inning where they've already played it 2.
And this just really hasn't been Garza's inning. We've talked about it so much, but he's allowed 3 hits and 2 walks in this inning. And he's only gotten 1 batter out, and that was a ground out to Gavin Heimovitz. But other than that, every batter has at least reached, and it's just been tough.
First pitch misses the zone to Colton Freeman, the count 1-0. Freeman so far today, he's reached base twice. An error in the third inning. He ended up coming around to score. And then in the fourth inning, he singled and drove in a run on that base knock. This time he flies one high back behind us. We give it a look, but we cannot corral it. So the count is 0-1.
I wanted it.
The count is 1-1. I wanted it to. It was a little bit too far.
Just a little bit outside.
Just a bit outside. Colton Freeman working at a 1-1 count. Garza trying to get out of the most disastrous inning of his season, trying to bounce back. The 1-1, a drive into right center field. That's going to get down. 1 run's coming around. That's Griggs. Diaz is digging. He's being sent around. Freeman into second, and a 2 RBI, 2-out double to make the lead 10-4.
Freeman right there drove the ball to right center field. It just went going and going towards that gap. Sandoval and Foreman couldn't reach there, and Freeman, great 2-out hitting for him, brings in 2 runs. And right now, 4 runs in the inning for the Riptide as they're just pouring it on the Oaks right now. They've scored 8 unanswered runs.
It's going to bring up Terrence Simmons. Simmons, he has a 3-for-3 day thus far. He has been the most successful hitter against the Oaks as he watches a pitch, brush him back inside. The count is 1-0. And so Simmons, he's had 2 3-hit days against the Oaks so far this season. That is more hits than he's had in totality against any other team on the entire year. The 1-0, Garza delivers to the dish, misses the zone low. The count is 2-0. And so Simmons, on the season, he has 12 hits. We mentioned 6 of those came in just 2 games against the Oaks, including today. So the count 2-0, Simmons trying to improve again upon his stellar day thus far. A runner in scoring position. Simmons thinks about it, doesn't go around, and the count is 3-0 as Garza continues to miss the zone. Aiden Hawley is getting warm in the Oaks pen. So a 3-0 count. We've already seen Garza behind 3-0 before. That was a 4-pitch walk to Austin Krizik. The 3-0 bounces in, and another 4-pitch walk as Terrence Simmons gets aboard as he's 4 for 4 on base today. And now the final batter of the inning that has not seen the plate yet is coming to the dish. It is Clayton Owen. So Blake Penso led off the inning. He is now on deck.
Right now, Suji's going to go talk things over with Garza, and man, it's just the worst inning that I've seen out of Aiden Garza all season. He's given up 4 runs. He's had 3 walks, and all season he hasn't had any performance like this, and it's just a tough break for him. It's just not been his game, and it's off his rhythm, and he's one of the guys that is more trusted, especially in a scenario like this, and to come into the game in a 2-run game and now leave it here with a 6-run game, it's just a tough scene.
It's going to bring up Clayton Owen. He is 1 for 2 or 1 for 3 on the day. Sees a strike. The count is 0-1. He doubled in the first inning, was stranded at second. In the third, he grounded out to Brendan Bobo, and he ended the fourth with a ground out to Daniel Cabral to end the threat with 2 runners in scoring position. Or 2 runners on, excuse me. Only one of them was in scoring position. Garza checks the runner at second, goes to the dish, misses low and inside. The count is 1-1. Defensively, the Oaks are shifted to the pull side for a left-handed hitter. JT Naviak, he's standing behind the bag at second, holding on the runner and also defensively positioned for a ball that goes up the middle. Daniel Cabral, equidistant between the second base bag and the first base bag, and then Brendan Bobo standing almost directly behind the base at first. Runners on both first and second. Grant Smith has a lot of ground to cover on the left side of the infield as Garza turns, checks the runner back, and walking back into second base is Colton Freeman.
So far in this inning, Garza's thrown 32 pitches. 20 of them have been balls and just missing a lot. And when he does hit a zone, not a lot of strikes called.
The 1-1 swing and a miss, a lazy swing from Clayton Owen. He goes down in the count, 1-2. And Garza, he's a pitch away from getting out of this inning. There were 2 outs since the 8-hole hitter. 4 consecutive base runners have been led on for the Riptide. The 1-2 pitch fouled off through the wickets of Clayton Owen. He nutmegged himself. Count is still 1-2.
Wickets. Never heard that one before.
Through the wickets. It's where the legs are.
Is the wickets the in between the legs? Or?
In between the legs, it's through the wickets. The legs individually are the wickets.
So
it's a cricket term.
Okay, gotcha.
The 1-2. Swing and a bouncing ball to the left side of the infield. Slow roller Smith fields it, throws to first, and it gets past Brendan Bobo. A run's going to score. Another one headed to third as the Oaks looked like they were out of the inning. They aren't, as now the Riptide have batted around after Clayton Owen drives in a run with the error on the throw from Grant Smith. The 5th error that we've seen today for Conejo.
And right there, I think I'd put the error on Brendan Bobo. It just looked like Grant Smith fired it across the diamond, and Bobo just missed catching the ball. It went off his mitt and back to the backstop area, or back by the dugout area. And, you know, batting all the way through the lineup, you think Garza's going to get out, and this inning continues. The 5th run comes in, and just a terrible inning for the Conejo Oaks right now.
So runners on the corners, and a new pitcher's coming in. That's Aiden Hawley. He's trying to dispose of the inning from hell when we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Bottom 5, 2 outs, 2 on. Aiden Hawley to the mound. Runners on the corners, Aiden Holly on the hill. The bottom of the fifth inning is still going. Blake Penso, he led off the inning. Now he's trying to keep the inning alive. That leadoff double is what sparked what is a 5-run inning. Aiden Holly comes in, gets a strike, the count 0-1. And so, in the inning, we've seen 4 hits, 3 walks, and 5 runs. Those all came in 2/3 of an inning, all credited to Aiden Garza as this pitch bounces out of the zone. Suji does a good job to block it to prevent the runner from coming from third to home. That runner on third is Colton Freeman. That runner on third is Terrence Simmons, and the runner on first is Clayton Owen. Colton Freeman, he came to score on a ball that was bounced to third base, and then a throw from Grant Smith was not able to be caught by Brendan Bobo. As the 1-1 pitch misses low and away, the count is 2-1. So Aiden Holly, he's coming in for the Oaks. This is his second appearance. Both of them have come in the last few weeks. The 2-1 pitch misses above the zone at the letters. The count is 3-1. Aiden Holly has pitched just 1 inning. That came against the Arroyo Seco Saints in a 10-0 loss for the Oaks. Went through 3 batters, did not strike anyone out, did not let anyone on. The 3-1, he lets his first base runner of the season on, and now the bases are loaded as the bottom of the 5th inning is still going.
We had an 8-in to an 8-in now, and, same result. A 5-pitch walk to start now for Aiden Holly, and now the bases are loaded. You move Clayton Owen over to second, and just doesn't seem like this inning's going to end for the Oaks.
Austin Krizik, he was the second batter to see the plate in the inning. He is now also the 11th batter to see the plate in the inning. First pitch to him misses outside, the count 1-0. Krizik so far today, 1 for 2 with 2 RBI. That was off a single in the 3rd inning. He then also reached base here in the 5th, stole a bag, and then came around to score on a 2 RBI single from Cody Dries. The 1-0 pitch misses low and away. The count is 2-0. The only at-bat that Krizik has not got on, it was in the 1st inning in which he ended the inning with a fly out to Zach Gregory. That was a ball that was barreled up, but Gregory able to sprint to the gap and get it before it touched the turf. So the count 2-1, or the count 2-0. The pitch misses, bounces in there, and Holly is a ball away from walking in a run.
Yeah, so far he's thrown 8 pitches, 7 of them have been balls, and just not really a great start for Aiden Holly right now.
7 consecutive balls. The first pitch was a strike. The 3-0 bounces in, and a run has walked in, and this game is 12-4. That is the 6th run of the inning.
Wow. This has got to be the worst inning of the year for the Conejo Oaks right now. Walking a lot of batters, giving up hits, giving up 6 runs, having an error in the inning. I just don't think this inning could get even more disastrous than it is right now.
Terrence Simmons, he's the man who came to score on that walk. A swing and a miss from Cody Dries on a ball that was low and away. Dries gave a strike to Aiden Holly. The runner on third is Clayton Owen. On second, it's Blake Penso, and at first, it's Austin Krizik. Cody Dries, he is the only person who got out in the inning after he sees a strike. The count is 0-2. But he got out after he's trying to stretch a 2 RBI single into a 2 RBI double. The next batter directly after him was the only out of the inning that did not reach base. So Gavin Hamovitz in the on-deck circle, he's trying to make sure that everyone in the inning can reach base for the Riptide, but he'll have to wait for Cody Dries to battle back from an 0-2 count. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, dives away from the zone, the count 1-2. And so, in this inning, we have seen 5 walks, 4 hits, and 1 error, all of them allowing base runners. The 1-2 misses low and away, the count 2-2, and now Cody Dries sees life in the count.
And initially in this at-bat, Hawley got ahead 0-2, thinking maybe he's picked it up and found his rhythm, but the last 2 pitches have missed away, and right now it's a crucial pitch for him right here.
The 2-2 in the zone, a strikeout for Aiden Hawley, his first of the day, and the 5th inning finally ends after 6 runs come through on 4 hits and 5 walks with 1 error, and the Oaks now trail 12-4. Welcome back to the top of the 6th inning. New pitcher on the hill, it's Josiah Castillo. He comes in for Spencer Edwards after Edwards was sitting down for about an hour when the Oaks let up 6 runs in the inning. Greg Melhoff, he pinch hits and smokes a ball into right center field. A leadoff single for the pinch hitter as Melhoff came in to swing for Brendan Bobo. And now the leadoff runner is on for Conejo.
And you got to think that's just the little home cooking going to the batter. It's a Pepperdine versus Pepperdine matchup as Castillo, the new pitcher, goes to Pepperdine. Melhoff also goes to Pepperdine, gets the better of his pitcher right there as he sends the first pitch to center field for a single.
TJ Foreman, he comes to the plate. He is not going to get pinch hit for. On deck, we see Daniel Cabral. So we'll update you with a new defense as Brendan Bobo is subbed out. First pitch into Foreman in there for a strike to count 0-1. Foreman so far today, he's 0 for 2, struck out in the first and flew out in the 4th. He gave that ball in the 4th inning a ride, but Terrence Simmons was directly underneath it. Count 0-1, dribbler back up the middle through the hole. It's a double play ball fielded by the shortstop and throw on to first as Davis Diaz able to turn 2.
And that's just a tough play for Foreman. You get the leadoff hitter on with a single in Melhoff, and you ground into a double play. It just seems like this game is just going everything against the Conejo Oaks right now, and it's inevitable that they're going to lose, it feels like.
So on the hook for the win, it is Spencer Edwards, and I think it's a very long hook as Daniel Cabral watches a pitch on the outside part of the plate, but misses the zone, so the count is 1-0. Edwards, he has 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He gave up 4 runs. That is his final line. 78 total pitches. Cabral watches a pitch in the zone, so the count is 1-1. The 1-1 pitch misses below it, so the count is now 2-1 to Daniel Cabral. So far today, Cabral reached base once. That was to lead off the second inning. He came around to score in that inning. And then in the fourth inning, drove one to right center field, but Simmons was able to make the play. Now a dribble to third base. Cody Trees makes the stab, throws to first, a close play at the bag, and he got him out. So a 1-2-3 inning to start off Josiah Castillo's day. We head to the bottom of the sixth. The Oaks, they trail 12-4 on the Oaks live stream. Bottom of the sixth inning, still on the hill is Aiden Hawley. Leading off the inning is Gavin Hamovitz. He's the only player who was not able to reach base in the last inning. First pitch to him misses low and away. It's a ball, the count 1-0. Defensive substitutions for the Oaks. It looks like it's Greg Melhoff playing first base. The infield remainder of it stays the same except for behind the dish. Cody Sulak makes the play. He reaches for a ball above the head of Gavin Hamovitz. Sulak comes in for Caden Suji behind the dish. And the defensive alignment stays the same with Gregory in left, Sandoval in center, and in right field is TJ Foreman. Swing and a bouncing ball into the dugout for the Riptide. The count is 2-1 to Gavin Hamovitz. Hamovitz so far today, he is a 1-for-3 day. He singled in the fourth inning, ended up coming around to score after he stole the bag at second base. He was driven in by a Colton Freeman single. The 2-1, swing and a miss. The count is 2-2, so Hawley ended off the bottom of the fifth inning with a strikeout, and now he gets 2 strikes on this batter in Hamovitz. Hamovitz has not struck out on the season because today is his first game of the year. The 2-2, he watches a breaking pitch outside. Sulak goes to block, and the count has run full.
And today, Aiden Hawley, when he's been missing, it has been outside like that pitch right there. And it's just that trouble with command, but right here, 2 strikes, you got to get this out.
The 3-2. Swing, bouncing ball to the right side of the infield. Melhoff picks it up, flips to Holly. He taps on the bag in time to get him. And the first out of the inning is recorded as Hamovitz is sent to the dugout to make way to Tyler Griggs.
That's a great play by Holly right there. Heads over to first. Melhoff a flip and almost didn't get his foot on the bag. Was Holly, but he did. Gets the out, and that's a huge first out after a long inning last inning to get that first out here in the 6th.
The 9-hole hitter, Tyler Griggs, he comes to the plate for the 4th time today. So far on the day, he's 0 for 2. He flew out in the 2nd inning on the infield, then struck out looking on 3 straight pitches in the 4th. But the last inning, he walked. Sees the first pitch strike here in the 6th, the count 0-1. He walked on 5 pitches, ended up coming around to score. He was the the 3rd run that scored in that 5th inning, which ended up plating 6. The 0-1, swing and a drive to deep center field. Sandoval back towards the track, but makes the play as his feet end up right around the dirt. Griggs barreled it up, but wasn't able to drive it far. The ball deadened in the air, and the 2nd out of the inning is recorded.
And Holly right now, he just seems like he's found his rhythm again. After walking the first 2 batters, gets a 2-2 count last inning, striking him out looking, then gets a full count here, gets a ground out, and now an out on a fly out. 2 quick outs in this inning, and it's a great step forward for Holly.
Davis Diaz, the leadoff hitter, with 2 outs here in the 6th, watches the first pitch strike as Holly playing pitch and catch with Sulak. The count 0-1. Diaz has reached 3 times today, all in different fashion. An error in the 1st inning ended up putting him on first base and ended up having him come around to score as the 0-1 in there for a strike, the count 0-2. Then in the 3rd, a 7-pitch walk ended up putting him on first. He came around to score in that inning as well. And then in the 5th, a 3-pitch single ended up putting him on first, in which he came around to score. So he's lived at first base and lived at home plate. Count 0-2, reaches out for one, skies one shallow infield. Cabral underneath it makes the play, and a 1-2-3 inning for Aiden Hawley to bounce back from the bottom of the 5th. The Oaks, they still trail 12-4 when we come back for the top of the 7th inning on the Oaks live stream. Top of the 7th inning, Ryan Milano, Knight Uratsky, Knight take over play-by-play duties.
Thank you, Ryan. So 12-4 the score, unfortunately, for the Conejo Oaks. But Austin Carrillo, Cody Sulak, and JT Naviak do up for the Oaks as the pitch to Carrillo is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Carrillo. Josiah Castillo still on the mound for the Riptide, the Pepperdine product facing off against Carrillo here. 0-1 the count as Carrillo's up for the third time today. Pitch in and inside, so the count now even 1-1. Carrillo, his first time up, he walked, came around to score. That was in the second. Then in the fourth, he hit a single and then was left stranded at second. It's now up for the third time today. The 1-1 pitch bounces in the dirt, and 2-1 the count now to Carrillo. Castillo, this is his 8th appearance of the year. He did appear against the Oaks in his last appearance. That was July 16th. He threw 2 innings in that game, allowed 2 hits, and had 1 strikeout as he faced 9 batters in those 2 innings. Carrillo takes a pitch. It's called for a strike, and the count's even now 2-2. The Conejo Oaks stay 5 hits in their name, but also 5 errors, so never a good day when you equal the number of hits to the number of errors you have, and you can see the result here as they trail by 8. The 2-2 pitch, Carrillo fouls it off. He stays alive. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up with a 2-2 count for Carrillo.
And this season for the Oaks, it's been a little perplexing to me in terms of the streaks that the Oaks have been on. They're a very streaky team in terms of a week-by-week basis. It seems like the Monday off day sort of resets the week, and then every time that a week comes back, it's either a great week or a poor week.
Carrillo lines out to Owen, and now 1 is gone here in the top of the 7th.
So when you look at the Oaks, they started off in CCL play with a strong outing, and then they came back with a poor week. So the first few weeks that they played, at one point they were 5-1. And then they went on a losing streak where they just won 1 out of 6 games. Then they had a 5-1 win streak, and now they're on a streak where they've won 2 of what looks like their last 6 if this score holds.
The 1-0 pitch to Sulak misses away, and now the count's 2-0 to Cody Sulak. Agree, it's been a weird season for the Conejo Oaks, but right here they're trailing by 8 in a huge game in the standings, and then Sulak now takes a strike, so the count's 2-1. The Oaks, if they drop this game, they're going to be out of playoff position. The Riptide would move in, and the Oaks, they have a chance to battle back into that playoff position tomorrow as they host the Riptide. Sulak takes a pitch inside. It's a ball, and the count's now 3-1 to Sulak. The Oaks, they have 3 home games ahead of them as they face off against the Riptide tomorrow, host the Arroyo Seco Saints, who are in first place, as Sulak grounds one up the middle. A diving play by Hamovitz as it went off his glove and into center field, but Sulak aboard with an infield single.
It's a great piece of hitting by Cody Sulak. He gets ahead in the count. He knows it's a hitter's count. And he drives one right back up the middle. Hamovitz tried to make a diving play to keep it on the infield, but even if he would have gloved it, Sulak would have been bolting down the first base line, and his speed, he was able to get to first base even if there would have been a throw. And then it did not get fielded cleanly by Hamovitz, so Sulak able to get in, not even a test of the throw.
So now JT Naviak up at the plate, fouls off the first pitch to him, 0-1 the count. So going back, the Oaks, they host the Riptide tomorrow, then they host the Saints on Friday. That game at Sparky Anderson against the first-place Saints, who are as hot as any team in the CCL, or even hotter than them. Not lost a game in 9 games, as Naviak takes a strike, count now 0-2. They host the San Luis Obispo Blues on Saturday, and then they travel up to Santa Barbara on Sunday to end the week. Going to be playing against the Foresters for the 3rd time this week, if you count the continuated game. Pitch misses inside, and 1-2 the count to Naviak. The Oaks were 0-2 against the Foresters yesterday, and right now looks like they're going to be 0-1 against the Riptide. Castillo steps off the mound, now back on the mound. 1-2 the count, 1 out. Runner on first, and Cody Sulak, Grant Smith on deck for the Oaks. The pitch to Naviak comes inside, almost hits him. Heading to second now is Sulak after a pass ball got past Penso. Now a runner in scoring position for the Oaks. So a pass ball from Castillo moves Sulak from first to second after Sulak reached on an infield single up the middle. And now Naviak, who today has a single and an RBI, has a chance for another RBI here. The 2-2 pitch, Naviak swings and hits it the other way towards right field, going over is Freeman, and it bounces foul. Freeman looked like he lost it, stopped running. Nevertheless, we'll do the 2-2 again.
Yeah, and that's really lucky for Colton Freeman. It bounced about 2 feet outside of the chalk. There's very limited foul ground here down the right field line at Orange County Great Park, and right there, the ball bounced in that foul territory, which isn't very long, and Colton Freeman lost the ball. So, very fortunate for the Riptide that that ball did land in that foul territory, because just a little bit further into the playing field, and that would have been extra bases for Naviak and an RBI.
2-2 the count. 1 out. Runner on second. Naviak at the plate. The pitch. Naviak grounds it to the left side. Fielded right here by Diaz. The throw to third in time to get Sulak as Naviak heads to first, but a nice fielder's choice play by Diaz as he was rolling to his right and threw to third.
And right there, a great play by Davis Diaz, because he would not have gotten Naviak coming down the line. It was a play that took him deep into the outfield, and he backhanded it. Knew that Sulak was at second base trying to advance to third, and a great throw, able to get the lead runner.
So now Grant Smith steps up to the plate. Runner on first. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Sun beginning to set here in Irvine as the first pitch to Grant Smith in there for a strike. Off-speed pitch. 0-1 the count.
I don't think it's just beginning to set. I think it's pretty much already set.
You can see the sun a little bit to the west, it looks like. Believe it is the west.
Well, it rises in the east and it sets in the west.
So there you go. This is the west. Pitch misses. 1-1. That was, I mean, like, I know that saying. I forgot about it, but that was just my own geographic direction. I just felt like I was staring north, and I looked to the left, and I was like, that's west. This one's hit up the middle, fielded by Hamovitz, and he taps on second, and that'll end the inning as Naviak's out at second. Back-to-back fielder's choice plays and back-to-back outs for the Riptide after Sulak had an infield single. We head to the bottom of the 7th. 12-4 the score. The Riptide, they lead. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Bottom of the 7th inning here in Orange County as the Riptide, they're leading 12-4. 7th inning now, new pitcher on the mound for the Conejo Oaks. It's Nick Rinkover. First pitch from Rinkover misses away. 1-0 the count to Colton Freeman. Rinkover, his last time he pitched, it was here against the Riptide 3 days ago on July 18th. This is his most impressive performance of the season as a pitch misses inside. The count now 2-2. Rinkover in that performance, he pitched 2 innings and struck out 4 batters while only facing 6. So 1-2-3 inning for Rinkover twice, including 3 straight strikeouts with the bases loaded when he was put into the game. Pitch misses inside now, and 3 straight balls from Rinkover to Colton Freeman as Freeman's ahead 3-0. Freeman today, a single, a double, and as well as reaching on an air. The single came in the 4th, the double came in the 5th, reached on an air in the 3rd. As the 3-0 catches the zone, 3-1 the count now. Freeman was retired the first time he came up to the plate in the 1st on a ground out to the pitcher. But today, he's reached base 3 times and has a couple of hits, up now for the 5th time. 3-1 the count to Rinkover. The pitch misses inside, and Freeman takes off towards first. The classic sprint from Freeman, and now a runner on.
The classic sprint from Freeman.
Well, that's what he's done. Every time
he just continues to sprint down the base. It takes me by surprise every time. Every time he does it, I'm amused.
Yeah, everybody on the Conejo Oaks say it's just eye candy. He just does it for the looks and sprints down to first, and nevertheless, he's aboard for the 4th time today. Up to the plate now is Terrence Simmons. So he stands on with a runner on first and nobody out. First pitch to him, called for a strike. 0-1 the count. Simmons, a walk his last time up in the 5th. Before that, 2 singles, 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th. The 3rd, he came around to score, and then in the 1st inning, he hit the home run that tied it on a 2-run shot over the right field wall. Pitch to Simmons misses away, and the count's even 1-1. As the sky begins to get darker here in Irvine, you can see the soccer field happening beyond the fence in the outfield. Last time we were here, we were leaving the stadium. We were all on the bus, and we were watching a soccer game happen outside as the pitch misses away. 2-1 the count now. You can hear Ryan Milano laughing. It's because it was a great moment.
It was a fantastic moment. You prepped me before this inning saying that you had a great story, and I am overjoyed that this is the story.
So the Conejo Oaks were leaving. We just won the game against the Riptide, and they were all on the bus as the pitch comes in to Simmons, swing and a miss. The count even 2-2. Outside the right window at our bus, we could watch a game going on in the soccer fields adjacent to this field. Those penalty kicks happening right now. Everybody stopped. Everybody was locked in on this game. And this kid kicked a PK, scored a goal, and the entire Conejo Oaks bus just went wild. Swing and a miss from Simmons here. First strikeout from Rinkover, and now 1 is gone with a runner on first.
And there has to be props to Tobias Plotkin for that story, because Plotkin, he was the one who said, wait, stop the bus.
Well, so did Carrillo. Carrillo was right next to me, and he was screaming it too.
Well, everyone, we were sitting in the middle section of the bus. Plotkin, Carrillo, and a few other guys, they were sitting in the same section. It was, wait, stop the bus. We needed to watch the penalty kicks.
We needed to, yes, absolutely. And little did that kid know that the Conejo Oaks bus was just absolutely rocking. That was probably the best goal of that kid's life.
That was the biggest kick of his life. When are you going to have about 100 people watching? Because there was about 50 of us, about 50 people at the stadium. That doubles the average attendance.
2-0 the count now to Clayton Owen, and absolutely, I mean, what's more exhilarating than an entire baseball team in a bus cheering you on?
I wish I would have recorded that. That would have gone viral somewhere.
It was an insane moment, like, honestly. The 2-0 pitch misses away, and now 3-0 the count to Clayton Owen. So Rinkover, the first batter he faced, he walked him, and then he struck out the next batter in Terrence Simmons, and now finds himself down 3-0.
You know, after the season, everyone's going to part ways, go their separate ways, go to their separate colleges. But that moment is something that you cannot take away from us.
Absolutely
The Oaks
not.
will forever share that moment together.
I will cherish that moment. The 3-0 catches the zone. Count now 3-1.
I'm glad that is one of your more cherished memories.
It's definitely a highlight of the summer. Absolutely. I mean, I can't think of a better moment with all the guys on the team. I mean, we've been hanging out a while, but that was a moment that everybody got together and all got behind this one player. After a 3-0 count, Rencover fires back with back-to-back strikes, and the count is full at 3-2. So, full count, runner on first, 1 out. Clayton Owen at the plate. Rencover on the mound, a lefty-on-lefty matchup. The pitch. That one misses, and the second walk of the inning from Rencover, and 2 men are aboard with 1 out. So, Rencover, he's thrown 16 pitches. Majority of them have been balls. A couple of them have been strikes, but a lot of balls, and now 2 runners on. As Colton Freeman, he's standing at second, and Owen at first. Blake Penso, the catcher, up at the plate. Riptide, they're leading 12-4 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch from Rencover to Penso. Misses inside, and now the count is 1-0. So Rencover, all season, he's just allowed 2 runs on the year. Walks have been an issue. He's walked 7 batters in 9 1/3 innings coming into this game, as now the pitch misses low. Count now 2-0. So if you factor in the 2 walks here today, he's walked 9 batters in 9 2/3 innings pitch.
And so for Rencover, when he has missed, it's been missing low. He tries to live low in the zone. He tries to live on that plane at the bottom of the zone, inside to outside, and working with the same eye level.
Penso fouls one back over our heads up here in the broadcast studio.
I got really excited for that one. That looked really close.
That one literally went right over our heads.
I've been standing this entire game. I sit down for 1 inning, and then I need to make a play. There needs to be action. I almost sprung up. The headset would have gone flying off of my head if that landed anywhere on this deck.
Yeah, but are you as ready as I am, who have my glove on?
I have my glove in hand. You know what? I'm ready.
2-1.
We could just be playing catch.
2-1 the count to Penso. Ball bounces, and now the count's 3-1.
I might need to send a notice into the dugout because we need a ball up here. We need to play catch for the rest of the game.
It's a 12-4 game in the bottom of the 7th inning. There's not much else to do.
Except for watch a masterful comeback.
Runners on first and second. 3-1 the count. Penso at the plate. Rencover on the mound. The pitch. Penso grounds to the left side. Gets past the diving Smith. Coming around to score now is Freeman. Heading to third is now Owen. And to second is Penso. An RBI double for Penso, as now Owen's in there safely at third. And now, with 1 out, the lead's now 13-4.
And it seemed like Clayton Owen was not sprinting around the base paths. He got to third base about 3 seconds after we saw Blake Penso get into second base. And we've already talked about today how Blake Penso isn't exactly your prototypical speed threat.
Yeah, that was a very interesting play. It looked like Smith almost maybe tagged him out, but he was in there safely, was Owen, and now up to the plate is Austin Krizik. First pitch to him misses inside. Count now 1-0, and Rencover, this just hasn't been his day so far. He's walked.
It hasn't been anyone's day.
Just hasn't been the Oaks' day in general.
It's been the Riptide's day.
The Tide are riding the wave right now as Rencover throws, and the pitch is called for a strike. It's a 1-1 count to Krizik. And Krizik today's reached twice, once on a single and once on a walk. A line out to left field to start the game, but not a great day. Krizik did have another walk in the 5th inning, so a couple of times he's reached base. Now has 2 runners in scoring position with a 1-on count and 1 out. Pitch from Rencover is called for a strike, and now Rencover gets back ahead, 1-2 now. Mentioned it, Rinkover had only allowed 2 runs all season in 9 1/3 innings pitched coming into this outing. Right now he's allowed 1 run against the Riptide and has a 1-2 count to the 6-hitter Krizik. The 1-2 misses inside, and now the count's even 2-2.
And Knight, I have a feeling that today might be a prime example of content for Summer Vibes with the Tide.
What is Summer Vibes with the Tide, Ryan?
Well, Summer Vibes with the Tide is what the Orange County Riptide post on their YouTube channel. It's about behind-the-scenes action with the players. They post it on their YouTube channel, and they have it on their video board before every game. We've gotten very familiar with Summer Vibes with the Tide throughout the last few games, as we've spent 4 games in the past 2 weeks here at Orange County.
It's been a lot of trips to Orange County.
They have not yet made the trip to Thousand Oaks, which I am quite confused about. I think that they've just been so gracious in the hospitality towards us. Why can't we show our hospitality to them?
The 3-2 misses high and inside. Krizik's over to first. 3rd walk of the inning from Rinkover, and still 1 out. Bases loaded for the Riptide, and the disastrous game that the Oaks are having just continues as the bases are juiced.
And Knight, I really hate to say it, but this has a lot of shades to the bottom of the 5th inning.
I don't like that.
Neither do I.
So now Cody Dreiss steps up to the plate. Bases loaded, 1 out. You have Clayton Owen at 3rd, Blake Penso at 2nd, and Austin Krizik at 1st. Rinkover on the mound. He's allowed 1 run on the RBI double from Blake Penso. First pitch in, misses inside. Dreiss was looking for it. Held up. Now 1-0 the count. Sun has officially set as it's completely dark outside in Irvine. Pitch from Rinkover, rubs inside, and now the count's 2-0. Still maybe a little bit of action happening in the Oaks bullpen, but not much happening there. Rinkover still on the mound, going to try to get out of this jam.
And Knight, I can confirm that it is dark outside. The sun has officially set. There's an application on my phone called Is It Dark Outside? And it tells me if it's dark outside. And according to the application, it says yes.
There you go. 2-1 the count now to Cody Dreiss. And thank you, Ryan. It is dark outside. Not dark at this stadium, as there's beautiful lights here in Irvine. It's absolutely a beautiful venue. The 2-1 pitch to Dreiss. Misses, and now the count is 3-1. Rinkover still missing his zones. He's thrown a lot of balls today, and he's walked 3 batters and is allowed a hit. Now has a 3-1 count to Cody Dreiss with the bases loaded.
Krizik, he walked in a run in the bottom of the 5th. Now Krizik walked and now is susceptible to advancing on a walk in a run.
Dreiss pops one up, backstop. Sulak giving chase. It hits a fan. Ooh. She's okay, though. Went off of her arm.
And they got a free baseball. I'm not sure if the video board is going to tell them that they have to give it back, though. That one should be a souvenir. I'm not sure if I were a Riptide intern that I'd be the one, want to be the one going down there to take that ball away from them.
Fortunately, in the CCL, I do believe you have to give back that ball.
I think it's a stadium-by-stadium rule.
Here they do. They ask you to give it back, and you get a raffle ticket.
Well, yes, but I'm not sure if they. I don't know. If I were those fans, I wouldn't want to be giving up that ball for a raffle ticket.
The payoff pitch, Dreiss fouls it way foul.
That one was about 400 feet in the air, but way foul.
Absolutely.
That one would have, if he would have straightened it out, it would have been out not only here, but any ballpark ever.
So, full count, 1 out. Cody Dreiss at the plate. Bases loaded. Rinkover on the mound. Bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch. It misses away, and Rinkover has walked in a run. Another run in the inning. It's 14-4. And, Ryan, you want to talk about that comeback you think is on?
I retract that statement. Actually, if you don't believe, you can't succeed. So, you know what? 10 runs has been come back from before, and it can be come back from again.
So now, Pitching meeting. Scott Radinsky going to go talk things over with Rincover. The Oaks, they're trailing by 10 in a disastrous game right now.
Brandon Madrigal is warming up in the Oaks pen.
Oaks trying to get out of this inning. The bases are loaded, 1 out. They've allowed 2 runs in this inning. Pitching meeting happening right now, and still not out of the 7th, and this has been a long game. The Oaks, they led 2-0, then they gave up a 2-run home run. That tied it 2-2. They took back the lead in the second, was leading 4-2 after the second inning. They shut out the Riptide in the bottom of the second. And then after that, it's been all Riptide since. The Riptide, they've scored 12 unanswered runs as they're now leading 14-4. 12 hits on the day for the Riptide, 5 errors for the Oaks.
Yeah, and Knight. So the first 2.5 innings took about 45 minutes. Since then, this game has concluded as a total time of 2 hours, 37 minutes, and counting. So the middle innings have dragged on.
Absolutely.
We like to call the middle innings RuPaul around here.
This one sent to right center field. That's going to get down. Coming around to score now is Penso. Krizik coming around. He's going to score. Over to third now is Dreiss. And over to second with the RBI double is Gavin Hamovitz. (16-4).
And Knight, my scoreboard only goes up to 19 runs. I think I might have to be inserting on the fly.
Obliteration in OC right now as the Oaks.
I like that, obliteration in OC. I don't like it for
I don't
like it for the Oaks, but I like that alliteration.
Thank you. I'm a big fan of alliteration, Ryan.
Are you a big fan of the OC?
Like Orange County or like the show?
The show.
I've never watched the show before in my life.
It's a good show.
I do like Orange County in general. Swing and a miss from Griggs, and now the count's 0-1. 16 for the score. 4 runs in this inning for the Riptide. 2 runners in scoring position as Dreiss is at third and Hamovitz, he's at second after the RBI double. 2 RBIs, that is.
You've pronounced his name 8 different ways this game.
It's so hard.
Hamovitz.
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 What did I say last?
You said Hamovitz. You really trailed off at the end because you had no confidence.
I still said it correctly, just not enough confidence.
No, I don't think you did.
0-2. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Rincover is second of the game, second of this inning, and now there's 2 outs with 2 runners in scoring position. It's okay, Ryan. I've caught you saying Cody Dreiss's name about 8 different times as well.
Yeah, I think we have a different pronunciation than the booth, which is what really gets, it's what rings me up. It's what makes my wheels spin.
And now a meeting happening at the mound as Coach Solis is coming out, and looks like he might take the ball from Rincover. Patting him on the back. Talking a little bit, Melhoff and you can see the second baseman Cabral, they're talking on the right infield. Smith and Naviak, they're talking on the left field. And now Rincover is going to come out of the game, and we have a pitching change happening as Brandon Madrigal is going to trot out to the mound. We're going to step aside and take a break here as the Oaks, they're trailing by 12 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be back after the warm-up. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you, Orange County, California, and the Oaks, they're trailing by 12. It's 16-4. New pitcher on the mound is Brandon Madrigal as he's set to face off against Davis Diaz. First pitch to him misses away, and 1-0 the count. So, final line for Nick Rinkover. Came into the game, pitched 2/3 of an inning, faced 8 batters, struck out 2 of them, but walked 3 and allowed 2 hits, resulting in 4 runs, and is responsible for the 2 runs in scoring position right now. Second pitch from Madrigal misses, and now 2-0 the count.
And so Knight, in the 5th inning, the Riptide, they batted around. Now here in the 7th inning, if Davis Diaz gets on base, they bat around.
Great stuff, Ryan.
Something to think about.
The 2-0 pitch. Fastball called for a strike. Now 2-1 the count as Madrigal finally gets a strike, and Madrigal...
I don't know about finally. It's his third pitch.
It's a long game.
It's the first time. He got a strike faster than a few of the other relievers.
Yeah, that's true. 2-1 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position as Diaz fouls one towards the right field side. It goes out of play, and now Madrigal has a chance with a strikeout here. 2-2 the count. Madrigal pitched against the Riptide on July 18th. He only faced 2 batters, allowed 2 hits, both weak contact singles, and then was immediately taken out of the game. And now set to face off against Davis Diaz. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, the pitch. Got him looking. Madrigal gets his first strikeout on the first batter he faces. The Oaks, they're out of the inning. 4 runs come in for the Riptide, 16-4 the score. We'll be back with you in the top of the 8th inning as the Oaks, they're getting obliterated. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Top of the 8th inning. The Oaks, they're trailing by 12 as Zach Gregory steps up to the plate here in the 8th inning. Top of the 8th inning, that is Gregory, the left fielder, hits one into the outfield, and he's aboard with a leadoff single after the first pitch to him. Sends it right back up the middle on a soft hit liner. He's aboard at first, and the Oaks, they have their leadoff man aboard, and you know, that's a step in the right direction. If you want to come back from 12 runs, you're going to start having to get hits. That's the 7th hit of the day for the Oaks. Fortunately, just not a lot of runs coming for them. They have not scored since the 2nd inning. So since the 2nd inning, they've been shut out. And now we're here in the 8th inning as Raul Sandoval steps up to the plate for the 4th time today. First pitch to him misses, so 1-0 the count. Going back to Gregory. He has a 2-for-4 day for himself. He had the 2-run home run in the 1st, and then a strikeout looking in the 5th, and a flyout in the 3rd. Sandoval today, he's 0-for-3 as he swings and misses at the 1-0, and the count now even 1-1. Sandoval a ground out in the first, a ground out again in the third, and his last time up he struck out swinging on the 5th pitch he saw. Up for the first time today against Castillo. So Gregory on first, fakes stealing, now heads back to first. Sandoval watches a pitch miss, and the count's now 2-1. The Riptide dugout making some noise. Looks like some action happening out there as now the 2-1 to Sandoval misses. And now Sandoval has a 3-1 count with a runner on first and still nobody out. A little bit of optimism happening here with the Yokes as Greg Melhoff, he's up next on deck. He came in the 6th inning. He had a single, and now Raul Sandoval, a 3-1 count, and the ball bounces as Sandoval flips the bat towards first, and now to first 2 men are aboard here in the 8th for the Oaks. So far, 6 pitches in the inning, a 1-pitch single to Zach Gregory, and then a 5-pitch at bat to Sandoval ending in a walk, and now first 2 batters aboard, and Melhoff, the next batter up for the Oaks.
And right now it's about confidence, especially for some of the Oaks now who just haven't been as successful on the season. Raul Sandoval getting a board. He works a walk. Greg Melhoff trying to get a board after a single.
Melhoff fouls off a pitch to count 1-1. Looks like Scott Radinsky Jr. is going to be on deck. He'll be pinch hitting for TJ Foreman, so towards the end of this game, wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of substitutions with the Oaks. They're losing by 12. 1-1 pitch as Gregory goes. Penso couldn't get the ball out of his glove as Gregory steals third, and now runners at the corners and a 2-1 count to Melhoff.
And Zach Gregory padding the stats right there, adding a few extra stolen bases. Wants to get the extra bag on his total. Looks better for the people at Arkansas.
Melhoff fouls it away. Gregory at third, Greg Melhoff at the plate.
There's been a lot of confusion on the team now because Greg Melhoff, a new addition to the team, and Zach Gregory, he went by Greg. That was the nickname that everyone called him. It was Greg. And now that there is someone with the first name of Greg on the team, it's causing a whole bunch of hootenanny amongst the dugout of the Oaks. Chaos has ensued. No one knows what to do with themselves anymore.
Who's the real Greg? Runners at the corners. The pitch to Melhoff. Fouls it back, and now the 5th pitch is fouled off. 6th pitch incoming to Melhoff.
And so I think that, so tomorrow we're having a kickball game.
Yes.
And I think that Zach Gregory and Greg Melhoff should have a kickball home run derby for the ultimate title of Greg.
The 2-2 pitch. Melhoff swings and misses at a ball that he golfed at. And now, first batter of the inning is retired from the Oaks. A strikeout on the 6th pitch Melhoff sees. And now, up to the plate, Scott Radinsky Jr.
And Scott Radinsky, he leads the team in batting average. That is the man you want at the plate.
Small sample sizes.
He only has 4 at-bats.
Takes a strike. Count now 0-1.
5 total plate appearances, 4 at-bats. He's reached base 4 out of 5 times he's come to the plate.
Radinsky fouls one down the third base side. The count now 0-2 to Radinsky.
So Scott Radinsky, his complete stat line on the season. He's had 5 plate appearances. 4 of them have been credited as at-bats. 2 hits, both of them being singles. One of them drove in a run. That was an RBI. That came in an 8-5 win against the San Luis Obispo Blues. In the one at-bat where he didn't get on base, he struck out.
This time he fouls a pitch down the first base side. Looking at the bat, did he break it? I think he did.
He broke it. It's unfortunate for him. It's unfortunate for his father mostly, because I'm sure that pitching coach Scott Radinsky is going to have to buy him a new bat. And so, to complete that line on the season, he has also reached base 1 time with a walk and 1 time with an error. So a lot of ones across the spreadsheet for Scott Rudinsky. His OPS is off the charts at a 1.3.
Well, that's going to take a tank as Rudinsky strikes out swinging here on the 4th pitch to him, and now 2 are gone, back-to-back strikeouts for Castillo. So, after the first 2 batters got aboard after a single from Gregory and a walk from Sandoval, now we have 2 outs after Melhoff and Rudinsky strike out swinging, and Daniel Cabral steps up to the plate with 2 outs and 2 runners still on. First pitch to Cabral, called for a strike, 0 on the count, and Ryan, going back to that kickball thought, are you hyped for that?
I'm very hyped. We have an intern group chat to communicate about when we are starting the kickball game, and I'm pretty sure it's also going to be an intern team, which I'm not sure why. I think that puts us at a large disadvantage. Considering
Why? You always like to say we're athletes.
Well, okay. I mean, we are athletes, and you are athletes.
Cabral fouls off the 1-1. It's 1-2.
So, consistent of the intern kickball team is going to be head coach Dave Solis's daughter.
Mac.
Yes, Mac.
Shout out, Mac, if you are listening.
Hello, Mac. It's also going to be Alexis. She is our music intern. She does the walk-up songs. And we'll complete the entire team when we come back from this inning.
So Cabral goes down looking and leaves 2 runners in scoring position. The Oaks, they trail by 12 in a game that they led by 2. And the implosion in Irvine continues here on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you, bottom of the 8th inning. We're still hanging on here as the Oaks, they're trailing by 12. But
by a thread. We're hanging on by a thread.
A thread. First pitch to Colton Freeman misses, and this game has just been disastrous for the Oaks. It's been a long game and, 20 runs, but only 4 going to your name. Freeman fouls off a pitch, and now the count is even at 1-1.
And Knight, I think the listeners are all expecting
yes.
the long-awaited anticipation of the conclusion of the kickball roster.
Yes, absolutely.
Give it to us.
So Kyle, who does our scouting here with the Conejo Oaks.
Shout out to Kyle Hirth.
Kyle Hirth, he comes to every game.
Except for the last few. He's been out of town.
Pitch misses away, and now the count's 2-1. But yeah, Kyle, he comes to a majority of the games. He's one of the few interns that does come to the game. So
actually one of 3. We're the other 2.
Yeah, there you go. So, me, Ryan, Kyle, as the pitch misses, or no, actually it's called for a strike.
It's a terrific trio. It's a terrific trio.
Yes. McKenna Solis, Max Solis, Coach Solis' daughter.
We don't know the last names of everyone, so we're going to have to stop this
Yeah, that's
quickly.
true. But she's a soccer player. I have high hopes for her. Swing and a miss, though,
lot of
from
expectations.
Freeman. And now the fifth pitch he saw, he gets sent down swinging. Madrigal back-to-back strikeouts, and now the Oaks, they have one out here in the bottom of the eighth. I have very high hopes for the soccer player.
There are also former soccer players on the Oaks, though.
It's
Who are
true.
going to be the opposing team.
Grant Smith, yeah.
Anson Arrows.
Oh, yeah.
We might have to not tell them.
Exactly.
Tell them the wrong time.
So you have Kurt, who does our social media. He'll be on our team as the pitch misses away to Terrence Simmons. 1-0 the count. He goes to Grand Canyon University. He does our social media. Shout out Kirk. Congrats on being the social media.
Congrats on being an intern.
1-0 the pitch. Simmons sends it high in the air, but shallow center field. Coming over is Sandoval. He makes the catch, and now two are gone here in the eighth. After Kirk, Logan Safarenko.
Those of you who have been to any Cal Lutheran home games, any games for the Oaks that have been at Cal Lutheran, you know the voice of the Conejo Oaks,
Logan Safarenko. Logan Safarenko, the PA announcer at George Sparky Anderson Field. Every time I even say his name, my voice just wants to get so deep.
Logan Safarenko.
Pitch misses outside, and now 1-0 the count to Clayton Owen. Have Austin. He's going to be on our team. He does the ticketing, I believe. He's game day operations.
All sorts of holes that he fills.
Swing and a miss, and now the count's even 1-1.
And that might be all the interns.
Believe so.
I think that's all the interns, which only puts us at 8, including me and you. Me, you, Kyle, Mac, Alexis, Austin, Kurt, Logan. That puts us at 8.
8.
We need a starting lineup. Becca.
There's our number 9.
Becca is really she's the captain of the team. She's the one who hired all of us.
Shout out Becca. Becca does so much for the Conejo
Becca is
Oaks.
amazing. For any of you who get to know Becca, she is amazing.
The 1-2 pitch to Owens misses, and Madrigal thought he was maybe getting out of the inning. He does not, and 2-2 the count. How do you think we stand tomorrow?
I think it might be a no-hitter. I mean, it depends who we put in the circle.
Who do you think's going?
I think it should be me.
You?
I'm an athlete.
I think you're going to have to fight with Logan Safarenko.
That's true. Actually, I'll play in the field. They need my speed out there.
Yeah.
Me and you, we corral the corners.
The 2-2. Madrigal got him looking. Third strikeout of the day. Second backwards K for Madrigal. A 1-2-3 inning in the eighth. Thank you, Brandon Madrigal. And we head to the ninth inning. 16-4 the score. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you, top of the 9th inning. The Oaks, they're trailing by 12, and, you know, if the comeback's going to start, it's going to have to start right now as Brendan Durfee, Cody Sulak, and JT Naviak do up for the Conejo Oaks. Top of the 9th inning, and be a monstrous comeback, but right now, first pitch to Durfee misses away and 1-0 the count. Ethan Holt, the new man on the mound for the OC Riptide. He's appeared in 2 games this season. He's 0-1 and has a 31.50 ERA. That is not an error, as pitch misses low to Durfee, and now the count's 2-0. So he's given up 9 runs and 2 total innings pitched all season. Does have 3 strikeouts, though. He's also given up 9 hits in those 2 innings pitched. So 9 runs and 9 hits for Ethan Holt, who's out of UC San Diego. The 2-0, Durfee hits it up the middle. It's going to get down, and Durfee's aboard with the single, and maybe the Conejo comeback is on.
That's just a nice job by Brendan Durfee. Struggling to throw strikes, gets the ball right down the middle of the plate, and is able to just send it right back into center field and get himself aboard. And Knight, it's been a while, and it's much anticipated. It's the return of Guess That Player's favorite food.
Ooh. Oh, boy. Is it Cody Sulak?
No. The 8th inning was ended with 3 strikeouts, or the 3rd strikeout, by Brandon Madrigal. You need to guess Brandon Madrigal's favorite food.
Oh, gosh. That one's really hard. I'm going to go peanut butter and jelly.
It is not peanut butter and jelly, but once again, it is a similarly generic answer.
Sushi?
It's not sushi.
Okay.
It is, so you are correct in the fact that it is associated with another culture than America, where sushi is compared to Japanese culture. This dish is compared to a different country's culture.
Pitch to Sulak, called
or
for
at
a
least
strike.
a different country's cuisine.
2-1 the count. So, is it pasta?
It is a type of pasta.
Okay. So 2-1 the count. Is it spaghetti?
It is spaghetti.
Let's go.
Brandon Madrigal, big spaghetti guy.
Sulak grounds it up the middle. Diaz fields it, flips it to second. The throw over to first and a double play hit in by Sulak, and 2 are gone. And Durfee's out at second. And the comeback may not be happening.
2-out rally night. Ye who has little faith.
Ryan, I'll bet you a house mortgage that with 2 outs, the Conejo Oaks will not score 12 runs.
Well, what odds am I getting?
What do you mean?
I feel like I can't bet that straight up. I feel like the betting odds for this game are, I'll take it at plus, I don't know, plus 20,000 to 1.
20,000.
I'll give you $1 if they win, and you give me 20,000 if the Riptide lose.
Pitch misses, so now the count's 1-1. I'll take that deal.
I have a feeling that you're not going to give me $20,000.
I have a feeling you're going to give me $1. 1-1 the count. The pitch to Naviak. Called for a strike, and 1-2 the count now. So the Oaks down to their final strike. 2 outs. Top of the 9th inning. They trail 16-4. The pitch to Naviak, and he hits it shallow center field. Coming in now is Simmons. He dives, and that one's not going to be fielded. Diaz fields it, throws a second. Naviak in there safely, and the runner's at scoring position for the Conejo Oaks after a single by Naviak and a ball that got away from Simmons.
It's a great job by JT Naviak. He just continues to swing a hot bat. He has reached base 3 times in each of the last 2 games, so a 3-for-6 on base percentage, and he's just been continuing to get on base. He's had 5 hits in the last 2 games.
Now Grant Smith, the leadoff hitter, aboard for the Oaks. Runner on second is Naviak, as the soccer game we were watching all the way up here has just ended, and the lights go down in the field beyond.
This game's still going. It is now 3 hours and 10 minutes of game time.
Grant Smith takes a pitch, called a strike. And that's not even a long game. It feels like we've had longer games
it
throughout
was
the season.
after such a blitzing first 3 innings.
It's
The
true.
first 3 innings got over in a snap.
Pitch misses, so now it's 1-1, and I definitely agree. The first 3 innings flew by really, really fast. It was a competitive game. It was 2-0, then it was 2-2, then it was 4-2, and then it was 5-2 entering, or excuse me, 5-4 entering the 4th inning, and since then it's just been all Riptide as Naviak heads to third on a pass ball. It's now runner at third, 2 outs, 2-1 count to Grant Smith. Grant Smith has yet to record a hit today, so a little bit of optimism for him here. Looking to get bored for the second time after he reached as an error.
Anson's dad, Pete Arrows, he just commented in the chat that you should take the dollar.
Pitch misses, so now 3-1 the count. I will take that dollar.
I mean, I would bet with you if I believed that if they came back, you would give me $20,000. But I don't.
I bet you a house mortgage, my guy.
don't believe that you have $20,000.
Pitch misses.
You don't own a house. We live in the same apartment.
It's true. So full count, 2 outs. Grant Smith at the plate. Runner on third as the Oaks, they're trailing by 12. Zach Gregory, he's on deck if Grant Smith gets aboard. Ethan Holt on the mound for the Riptide. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss from Smith, and this game is over. And I think the Oaks players, they wanted this game to be over a while ago as they lose this game by 12, 16-4 in Orange County as the Riptide, they take over the Conejo Oaks for 4th place in the CCL South and move into playoff position as the Oaks, they fall out of playoff position with the loss today. And Ryan, do you have any thoughts about this game?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts, but the most important one is that tomorrow is revenge. And that's what should be on the mind of the Oaks, or at least getting back and taking over and taking a win back and taking back that spot in the playoffs, where the Orange County Riptide, they come to Cal Lutheran, George Sparky Anderson Field, Ullman Stadium, all of the names. It's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be at 4:30. And it's going to be after the conclusion of maybe the most important game of the season, which will be the intern versus players kickball match.
Absolutely. So Ryan and I will be back tomorrow as the Oaks, they host the Riptide and looking to bounce back into playoff position. They lose a blowout here today, 16-4. And Ryan Milano, you owe me $1. You've been listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream. We'll see you tomorrow.